for the Rams, number 26, Kevin Curry. Back into the helmet, number 5, Isaiah Hamlin, number 11, Taylor Kelly.
They're fairly playing. This guy is really tall.
Hamlin takes the return and is taken down at the 16-yard line. Stop made by number 3, Nick Gray. Also the tackle number 9, Angel Elliott.
You're listening to Friday Night Football in the Foothills on 104.5 FM and AM 950 KAHI.
Placer wearing all green. This time they go with a little counter reverse and taking around the outside. Another very good pickup is Baylor Kelly. Another first down. 3 plays, 3 runs, and Phantom, this is exactly what they want to do in the wing tee set. You've got Placer, green helmets, green shirts, green pants, yellow numbers set up against Casa Roble in their visiting white jerseys, white pants with the Ram helmets, but we got the ball 1st and 10, 34-yard line. This time he's going to, Craycraft attempts his first pass, play action, throws it out to the left, and just a little bit too tall for the receiver.
Yeah, threw it out to the flat there. He had a guy open out there, but what I've seen so far, Scott, is that we've seen that Craycraft does some pretty good ball handling, some pretty good wizardry there as they've come back counter a couple of times already in this first drive.
You really have to pay attention to where the ball is.
Really
the ball fakes are excellent, and as you mentioned, Joey Montoya said that he's been watching this young man play all the way up through the system, and they do a very nice job. The keys to their offense, they hit you quick, they break the huddle, and little stoppage of play. So let's give you the starting lineups for the Placer offense. They got Colin Bray up front, strong guard is Jason Ramirez. Blake DeFeedy will actually be their center tonight. 2 guards we'll see at the quick guard spot, Mason Yoakum and Zach Robinson. And, of course, their line is anchored by Xander Esty, one of the best offensive linemen in the entire section.
Absolutely, and then number 1 in defensive lineman in the section in the Sacramento Bee.
As Placer takes the ball again, this time a good pickup of about 6 or 7 yards, right down to about the 25-yard lines. That's the fullback, Jaden Suggs.
Yeah, that's a quick hitter on that one, Scott, and it looks like they've got Casa kind of trying to anticipate where they're going to come next, and I think that's obviously what Placer likes to do with this offense.
3rd and 1, ball sits at the 26-yard line, right hash. Casa coming up, try to stop. This time they turn, give it to Baylor Kelly, and Baylor Kelly easily picks up the first down.
Baylor Kelly.
And they are now inside the red zone. Ball is down to the 17-yard line for Placer. Hillman going left to right on your radio dial. 10 minutes to go here on the first drive. This drive started, Phantom, on the 15-yard line. They have moved the ball judiciously down the field.
Yeah, we've heard a lot about Baylor Kelly, and now I'm seeing why here today as he takes the ball up the middle again.
Heavy dose of Baylor Kelly, and you see a couple of the biggies getting back and forth into it. You see that Phantom about the 15-yard lines. I don't think they like what's happening right now. Placer took this ball to start the drive on their own 15-yard line, and now they've got the ball all the way down at the 10-yard line. It'll be a 2nd and 3. They can pick up a first down inside the 10. This time they give it inside on the counter reverse. That's Costa Alexic, and he is close to getting in. It looks like they stop him at the 1. A little counter. It'll be 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, it couldn't be better, Scott, for the Hillman, because they're doing exactly what they wanted to do, what they did last year, and now they're doing it with a new cast of characters, and they're moving down. It's got to be depressing and disheartening for the Rams because they're not able to stop them. I think they've had one good play, but otherwise the Hillman have gone pretty much where they wanted to go.
And we talked to Chris Horner this week, the head coach for Casa, and he was saying we've got to get off to an early start against them. They break the huddle, quick, turn around, give it to Suggs. Suggs is in the end zone, touchdown, and just like that, the Placer Hillmen are up 6-0 with 8:44 to go here in the first quarter, and really an 85-yard drive. Every one of those yards on the ground. Touchdown, Jaden Suggs, the 6'4", 230-pounder, who really started off strong last year the first 3 games. What a great first drive.
He started out strong, got some injuries. 85 yards in less than 4 minutes out there. And, again, Hillman doing exactly what they wanted to do. And here comes the extra point.
Jackson Ramirez, the left-footed kicker, will come up. They will go for the extra point. Unlike their JV, who, by the way, won 39-21. They went for 2 a couple times.
A couple being almost a half dozen, yeah.
Snap, ball is down, kick is up, and it is good. And just like that, with 8:44 showing on the clock, Placer Hillman do what they want to do. And under 4 minutes, they take the ball 85 yards and lead this one 7-0. Kicking off here, Jackson Ramirez will kick off. We'll see what Casa can do to answer. This kickoff is brought to you again by Auburn Trophies, 1221 Grass Valley Highway in the Fiddler Green Plaza.
Sounds good.
Return is taken at the 1-yard line, and just like Placer, Casa will start off at about the 15-yard line, 16-yard line. And this is where we'll see sophomore quarterback Connor Campbell. They start Dexter Edler, Nicky Castillo, Brian McElroy, and Michael Burkhardt up front. And the big question now, Phantom, is how will Casa answer? Really coming out in a fight. Yeah. They took a blow.
They got punched in the mouth, and now they've got to come back and respond in kind. But they've got Cole Owens, they've got Taylor, so they've got weapons. Let's see what Placer does against those weapons.
Unlike Placer, they come up in a spread set, 2 receivers set to the right, 1 to the left. They turn, give it to the up back, and he picks up about 4 or 5 yards, breaks the tackle, makes it all the way up to the 23-yard line. A good 7-yard pickup on first down, and we're going to see a heavy dose of Josh Taylor. That's who the running back was there. Horner said he's one of his best athletes, and I think that's going to make Connor Campbell very comfortable tonight.
Yeah, it's going to give him a little bit of breathing room if he wants to look for Owens or somebody else out there on the outside. If he's got that running game going, get a little bit of the alignment off him, keep the pressure off of him.
Ball sets on the right hash. Casa goes right to left on your radio dial. They send a motion, man in motion. 2 receivers set left. They turn. This time they give it again to Taylor. Taylor's up. He picks up a first down. He's pushed out of bounds, but not before he got out at about the 35-yard line. And again, kind of just like Placer did, couple good run plays, and they're getting that good push up front. Let me give you a couple more starters. They start Evan Combs, Elijah Huddle, and Landon Fowler. Ball sits on the right hash, 35-yard line. 1st and 10, Casa, 7:52 to go. Placer Hillman lead this one 7-0.
Yeah, and a couple of runs there, Scott, with most of the yards after contact, and that's something that Placer's going to have to clean up.
This time, Casa has 3 receivers to the short side. They have an ISO to the left. That's exactly where they go. Ball is thrown up, and it is complete. That's Elijah Huddle. He catches it on the fade route, and he's going to go all the way in for a touchdown. That's a 65-yard throw and catch, and now we understand why Coach was so excited about Connor Campbell. Interesting formation. They put 3 receivers to the short side. They had one-on-one coverage with on the left side there, and touchdown pass. Connor Campbell throws it on the other side. That's Cole Owens, who we talked about in the open.
Well, that was that was Huddle. You said right on that one. But what I'm saying is the defense was there. The defensive back was there and just didn't make the play on the ball when it got there. Campbell put a lot of air underneath it and allowed his receiver to adjust to it, which they did. But the Placer defensive back was right there, didn't make the play.
7-6, pending the extra point. It'll be Kevin Curry. Snap down, kick goes up, and it is good. So 7:42 to go here, and get out your calculators. 7:42 to go here in the first quarter. Placer against Casa Roble, and we got a 7-7 ball game. Both offenses started at the 15, and it did it differently, but it's tied up.
Scott, you said you missed it. You were worried about missing last year. You said you wanted to see that game. Well, we might be seeing it. We might be seeing it a little bit more. Yeah, I think the thing that concerns both teams is that Placer ran down the field and were not able to be stopped by Casa, and then Casa came back and pulled off the big play, and that's what hurt Placer last year, and that's what they've got to guard against. They got guys with playmakers like this, like the Rams do.
They go 84 yards on their opening drive and score in 4 plays, and just like that, they are kicking off again.
That's why I told you the guy from Auburn Trophies is the guy who really does the job to get sponsorship on every kickoff, because when these two teams meet, there's a lot of kickoffs.
A lot of trophies being made.
This
kickoff again is brought to you by Auburn Trophies at 1221 Grass Valley Highway. It's still located in the Fiddler Green Plaza, and there's the kick. Ball is caught at about the 5. This time they get a pretty healthy, good return, and Placer will start off in much better field position this time. Kick return comes out all the way out to the 30-yard line. That's Isaiah Hanley, number 5. And now Placer has an opportunity. The game tied 7-7, 7:34 to play here in the first quarter.
Yeah, Hanley, an interesting story. As you know, Scott, didn't play football last year, and Coach Joey Montoya says he's one of the best athletes on the entire campus. We're lucky to have him out here, and obviously he's going to put him out there right away, and he's counting on stuff from Hanley. Now let's see if the Hillmen come back with more of the same, or if they have a new wrinkle, or if they're just going to say, stop us if you can.
Ball is set on the right hash. Wing T look, quick break from the huddle. Motion. This time they turn, they give it to Suggs, the fullback. Runs that northwest style, and he gets up for about 3 yards. That'll bring up a 2nd and 7. Brought down on the play by looks like Ethan Webster on the stop.
And it looks like those are the kind of plays you're putting the seeds down on those kind of plays. You're doing the straight aheads, and you're setting people up for when you do the counters, or as we talked about with Craycraft with his ball handling, a little misdirection. So let's see what the Hillmen come out with on 2nd and 8.
2nd and 8. Craycraft's going to throw a second pass. This time it's complete out in the flat. Costa Alexa catches it, picks up about 6 yards. It'll bring up a 3rd and 2. That play was a quick, good throw, but well defended. Now brings up a 3rd and 1. Ball is set at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, it was well defended, like you say, Scott, but it's the kind of pass I like to see Craycraft throw right now, because we talked about quarterbacks getting in the speed of the game, and that was a good pass right there.
This time they go with a power run, and it's Baylor Kelly. They run right behind that right side, and they pick up the first down. They needed 1, picked up 4. Ball is set now at the 43-yard line on the right hash. Placer continues to go left or right on your radio dial. 6:30 to play here. Placer 7, Casa Roble 7, and Placer breaks the huddle. This time is play action. Craycraft backs, eludes the rush, throws it down. He's got double coverage. And they're going to throw a flag there. Yeah. We could have a pass interference.
The Hillman lucky on that one. He threw, as you said, into double coverage. And unfortunately for the Rams, they were a little bit over-exuberant. But that was not a play that really was open. The receiver was going toward the sideline. Didn't really have that much room to make a play anyway. So not probably the best place to throw it if you're Josh Craycraft.
Valentino was the intended target on that. Like you said, he was double covered. Ball falls incomplete, but very excited week one wanting to hit somebody else. And Casa Roble, that is a critical penalty. So they've Placer's attempted 3 passes so far tonight. 1 completion, 1 penalty, and 1 overthrow. But the ball right now is going to go to the 42-yard line, and they're in Casa territory. 6:17 to play.
One thing I like about it is the mixing it up. Go ahead and let Craycraft throw a couple of passes, but in this situation, he has to know which one he wants to go to.
They go right back down to the ground, and that's Baylor Kelly, the sophomore. Dad's on the coaching staff, and he really has a quick first step, and he picks up 7 yards, and that'll actually bring up a 2nd and 3. And really, when they wanted something, they run him into the boundary. He's doing a good job.
Yeah, last year was Alexic that came up halfway through. He was the sophomore that we took a look at, especially when a couple of guys like Suggs were injured, and this year, obviously, it's Kelly.
Quick snap. This time they go to Kelly on the sweep. Nowhere to go. Casa sniffed that one out. He's going to lose a couple of yards. In fact, he'll lose about 4. They ran a sweep into the boundary, the short side of the field, and Casa was all over that. Those linebackers, Evan Coombs, Adam Hyatt, and Alex McConnell, was almost like they were in the huddle of Placer there. So now we've got an interesting situation. The first 3rd and long that Josh Craycraft has faced so far tonight.
Yeah, this is one of those that says this is a passing down, and you want to keep the quarterback out of those if you're the Hillman, so let's see what Josh does.
They go with the double reverse this time to Costa Alexic, but he gets stopped after about a pickup of a yard. That tells you they might have been thinking 4-down territory if they could have picked up some yards right there. So 4th down, 7 to go. Ball is at the 40-yard line. 5 minutes to go. Placer 7, Casa Roble 7. First quarter, Lefebvre Field here, and first 4th down, first critical situation, Phantom.
Under the radar, big play in this game just because it's halfway through the first quarter.
And it looks like Casa jumped. That was a strategic play right there, I think, on behalf of Placer. They came up and they moved their quick guard back a bit, but it looks like actually, yeah, it's going to be an offsides defense, so that makes a very difficult 4th and 7, a more makeable 4th and 2.
Yeah, it doesn't give him the first down, but it gives Coach Joey Montoya a lot more to look at when he looks at his palette of plays there, and he can pull something out. It's not a must-pass for Craycraft early in the game.
Ball's right in the middle of the field, 35-yard line. They're going to say 4th and 3. About 4 minutes and 30 seconds will be the time on the clock by the time the ball is snapped. Quick break of the huddle. They're in the wing tee. Craycraft's got a motion guy. He turns, he gives it to them. Flag down on the play. It's Baylor Kelly, but I think this one might be coming back.
Yeah.
He picks up the first down, but we'll have to see what the flag is.
Looked like some sort of motion, perhaps. Let's see. Or maybe trying to see the referee on this side. He's signaling to the Placer bench. But I think you're right, Scott. I think this one's going to be coming back.
We'll wait for the illegal shift is the call, and I could tell when he went over to Joey Montoya, he was talking about, I think 2 people were moving at the same time, and you can't have that. This might change the complex and what they do, and it does look like the punt team is coming out, so that's a big miss there. They offset what would have been a first down ball about the 25-yard line, and now it looks like they might be punting, trying to pin Casa deep.
Would have been a first down, but I think it's one of those situations where early in the season everybody's excited to make the big play. We all know what we want to do, and they try to do it too quickly.
Jason Ramirez on to punt. Ball's at the 40-yard line. 4:24 to play. First quarter, Placer 7, Casa 7. And Placer will take a timeout. It looks like they did not have enough people on the field. Nothing annoys a head coach worse than having to burn a timeout. But in this case, when you're punting for the first time, it's understandable. The hope here is to pin Casa down inside the 10. Standing back to return is, I believe, Cole Owens. Snap back, kick is up, and it is going to be pretty good one, but it actually does roll in the end zone, and in high school that's an automatic. Obviously going to come out to the 20-yard line, goes in the end zone, so not the punt that they wanted, but that's where Casa will start their second offensive series at the 20.
Yeah, it looked like Owens was waiting. The ball was kind of a line drive. He was waiting. He said, if the ball bounces right to me, I'll take it back. And it didn't. It bounced the other way and went into the end zone. So, a net 20 yards for Placer on the punt.
A little bit indecision there.
Get your tickets at hillmanfoundation.org.
So we'll see what Casas has going now. Connor Campbell. Pass completed out. It's a little slip screen out to the left side. And that's Evan Coombs. He takes the reception.
Campbell's pass complete to number 10.
Completed all the way, and that's a pickup of 9 yards. That'll bring up a 2nd and 1 for Casa.
And disappointing there, Scott, as you saw, there was a Placer player running on the field as that ball was snapped. So they're trying to get their assignment straight, and right now early in the games we talked about, first game, but still we got to get the right number of players on the field. They're lucky that wasn't a bigger play.
Ball sits on the left hash, 29-yard line, 2nd and 1. Casa. Campbell turns. This time he gives it to Taylor. Taylor is stopped short. Good defensive stop by Placer. Good penetration. They tried to run to the wide side of the field out of the spread look, but that was not going anywhere. Mitchell Trenka on the stop.
And laying a pretty good lick on Peterson, which they hadn't done so far. On Taylor, which they hadn't done so far, so that's got to feel good.
3:08 to go, first quarter, 7-7. Two of the top teams in the section, 2 top 20s. Both teams made the playoffs last year. We'll see what offensive coordinator Brett Satchwell, who calls the plays for Casa, does here. We got 3 receivers set to left, 1 receiver on the right. Under pressure, under duress, and it's going to be a sack. Placer answering the bell. Looks like they were trying to set up some kind of screen, but not happening at all. Ian Reynolds, Colin Bray, and Hunter DeRochers in on the sack.
Yeah, it looked like Campbell was looking out to his left, like you said, Scott, but I don't think his players were doing what he wanted them to do, and that's the way you keep the ball out of a Cole Owens' hand, is you put pressure on the quarterback. Hopefully that's for the Hillman. That's the first of many times you're going to get to Connor Campbell.
3rd and 1 has now become 4th and 13, and the ball is at the 16. And so after both teams started off on their opening possession, Phantom scoring touchdowns, now you got a punting situation. And for Placer, they should get the ball back in pretty good field position. Kevin Curry on to punt. Snap is back, kick is off, and it looks like it's going out of bounds right around midfield. So Placer will have the best field position that they have started at so far tonight. They've started at the 15, around the 35, and now they're going to start about the 45-yard line in Casa territory.
Yeah, they punted from the 40 and ended up getting the ball back on the 45. But even, like you say, both teams scored the first time. Both defenses came around and played better the second time. Very encouraging sign for the Hillmen to see 3 defensive linemen in the backfield and putting pressure on the sophomore quarterback, Connor Campbell.
Connor Campbell had his welcome to varsity moment there. 1st and 10. Play action. Craycraft throws. He's got a receiver wide open. Fantastic catch. Fantastic catch down there. That's Isaiah Hanley, number 5, extending himself. Ball's going to be 1st and goal down at the 5. Craycraft under duress throws a good ball.
Yeah, he threw the
fantastic
ball
catch.
45 yards in the air, a little bit too far, but we'll take that for sure. And Hanley, again, showing why he's on the team this season with a brilliant catch, putting the Hillman inside, right on the 5-yard line.
Ball's in the middle of the field, 1:35 to go. First quarter, wing T look, they're missing a player, and they're going to burn their second timeout, and Joey Montoya is not happy about that at all.
No, he's not happy at all. We know how intense he is just from talking to him on the phone a couple of times, and that is the second time I think he said to take a timeout, but maybe the 3rd or 4th time in the first quarter that they've been light on players once the ball is about to be snapped, and there's going to be some discussion about that on the sideline and at halftime.
Halftime tomorrow morning and on. But,
yes,
but I tell
exactly.
You'd rather have them take the timeout than run the play there. You got the ball 1st and goal at the 5.
Yeah.
Critical situation. Last time they got a penalty. You got a great opportunity to take the lead here with 1:29 to go here in the first quarter.
Yeah, you had a brilliant catch by Hanley, so everybody's pumped up. So you don't want to come out and make a mistake, make a blunder, and cost yourself 5 yards right out there. So, yeah, as you point out, a timeout is worth taking right there. But we're still in the first quarter, and they've had to take a couple timeouts already.
Craycraft has 2 completions and 4 attempts. Isaiah Hanley puts them 1st and goal, 5-yard line. Ball's in the middle of the field. Placer's driving into the scoreboard side of the stadium. They break the wing tee. This time they turn, give it to, and it looks like that is Baylor Kelly, and he's going to be stuffed and lose yards again. They've tried that play twice now into the far side, and it looks like the defensive front of Casa has sniffed it out the last 2 times. The ball went backwards there.
Yeah, you don't want to lose yardage when you're first and goal on the 5, and that's exactly what happened. And they did. The play where Kelly has taken the ball around the right side, the last 2 times he's had a couple of Rams, they're waiting for him.
Good news for Placer. There's a penalty on the field, and that's a face mask, so they're going to get first down over. Looks like it'll be half the distance. Put it right back at the 5, and so basically they're going to deja vu all over again.
Yeah, just don't call that same play, huh?
Go a different route.
Go a different route.
Here comes motion. This time they go counter up inside, and a good piece of tough running that time. Looks like Costa Alexic down to about the 1 yard line.
Costa Alexic right down the 2 yard line.
The exciting thing now, Scott, is we've got Alexic and Suggs and Kelly, already 3 running backs who've shown out. You've got Isaiah Hanley, and remember, you didn't have a lot of wide receivers coming back, and Hanley comes out and makes a catch like that. That's a highlight catch. That's a web gem, as they say. So that's got to be encouraging to Placer fans. Say where are our stars coming from after Lavelle Davis left, and we've had a couple.
Turn, and there's a touchdown right there, and that is Jaden Suggs, 6'4", 230, punches it in, and we got our answer right there. Placer has answered. 46 seconds to play here in the first quarter, and Placer takes the lead 13-7, pending the extra point.
And you said it, 6'4", 230, and you think about it and you look out there, he looks like a lineman. And obviously last year he played great and got injured, missed a lot of action later in the season, but he's come back out, and he's bigger than he was last year, and he's running really, really well.
It's a really good size hole for him to run through right there on 2nd and 2. They did a nice job of moving some big bodies. So Placer takes the lead here. On comes Jackson Ramirez from the left side. Snap is down, kick is up, and it is good. 46 seconds to play here in the first quarter. The Placer Hillman lead this one 14-7, and that's good situational football. You have the ball, it's 4th and long. You don't like to punt, but you do punt, make a good defensive play. They end up getting the ball back in good field position and punch it in.
Yeah, the thing that you're liking is the line matchup. Now, you had a situation where you're moving the ball and you're creating holes like you said, and also on the other side you get the big sack to cause the punt to set up the entire field position. So that's got to feel really good for the Hillman right now. What doesn't feel good is getting people where they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be there. Hopefully that comes with time.
Good timeouts, both times that were taken. Good timeouts.
Yes.
They didn't want to take them. They took it. They went in there and they scored 2 plays later. So Placer 14, Casa Roble 7. 46 seconds to play here in the first quarter. And this kickoff is brought to you by Auburn Trophies, 1221 Grass Valley Highway in Fiddler Green Plaza. And Jackson Ramirez will kick it deep, and the 2 deep backs for Casa. It looks like they've got Cole Owens and Dylan Salcido back deep. Kick is off. Correction, that's number 7 deep for Casa, and that's Elijah Huddle. He's still running. He's out past the 30-yard line. He breaks a couple of tackles, steamrolls a Placer Hillman, and Casa will take over at the 43-yard line. A good return.
Yeah, when he first got it, I thought he was set up for a big return. Then Placer shot the gaps. It looked like they had got him about the 20-yard line. Ends up getting it out right around the 45-yard line. So, yeah, great return and putting them in great field position, and it's Hillman with the backs against the wall again.
31 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Ball spotted on the left hash. And here comes the Casa Roble Rams offense. Casa led by Chris Horner in his 6th season.
You're about to be told as well. Once again, a silver Ford Focus.
And I don't know if it's proper to say this, but we talked to Chris Horner. He's a great guy.
He's a great guy.
I think we can, honesty in broadcasting, right?
He said his grandpa used to listen to your morning show.
That's right. He didn't say grandpa. He said great-grandpa. But that's, that was nice of you. Thank you very much.
Give inside to Taylor there, snuffed out pretty well by Placer. That might be the last play of the first quarter. We'll see. Casa obviously works a little differently than Placer. They work with a no huddle, but it's not a tempo no huddle. They send in players back and forth, with obviously Placer going to their traditional quick huddle, quick up to the ball. They are probably going to get a playoff here as the clock winds down, and no, they are not. That's the end of the first quarter. So just like last year, after one, it's Placer 14, Casa Roble 7. So after one, we'll go ahead and take the break. You're listening to Placer Football on 104.5 9:50 a.m., the voice of the foothills. This is Plaster Football. Campbell with a huge throw down the sidelines. And that's Cole Owens running unattended there, and he does a good job of fighting. And just like they did before, it looks like Costa's going to answer. The ball's all the way down the 4-yard line. That was a very nice, well-thrown ball from quarterback Connor Campbell.
And they hadn't been getting the ball, getting touches for Cole Owens. I wonder when they were going to start. He was in one-on-one coverage, as you pointed out, and was behind the defensive back. Campbell dropped it in there, and Owens very difficult to bring down once he got it, and they're inside the 5-yard line now, threatening to tie this one up.
11:47 to play here, second quarter. Placer leads 14-7. But Casa Roble has the ball first and goal at the 4-yard line. They come up in a tight set, which is different for them. They're not in their traditional. That's a T formation. They turn, they give it to the up back, and he looks like he's going to be stood up and pushed down at about the 2-yard line. So Casa goes to a goal line look outside of the spread. They go 3 backs along, put their quarterback under center, and they pick up about 2 yards on first down.
Yeah, I thought the fact that it was a little bit of a different look and they had the full house backfield, whatever you want to call it, I thought that was going to be a little more successful. Good job by the Hillman to stuff that one after about a 2-yard gain.
They're spotting it at the 3, which means they're giving them 1. The ball's right in the middle of the field. They come out with that full house backfield again. They give it to the up back again, and this time he is stuffed. It looks like he got down to, they're going to spot him at about the 1-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and goal at the 1.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they just come back out and do it right again. I think that's what they're doing. We got it inside the 5. We're just going to go straight, put it straight down their throats.
And you got Burkhart, McElroy, Castillo, Edler, and Dexter. You got 5 guys you like. You think you can get a good push.
Yeah, when you make the big play like that and sets up your big guys up front, then you're just going to go ahead and just grind it.
3rd and goal. Ball spotted at the 1-yard line. This time Campbell just going to try to take it himself, it looks like, and he's in for a touchdown. Almost looked like one of those Bush push plays. It looked like really everybody kind of just clustered together. So Casa Roble has answered. It is 14-13 pending the extra point, and that whole drive was set up by the Connor Campbell to Cole Owens connection.
Yeah, 2 big plays, Scott, in this game, obviously, from the Casa Roble side. 2 long passes in single coverage, and both times, and this time Owens was well behind his defensive back. The first time it was kind of a wrestling situation, but that, except for the 2 big plays, that's what killing the Hillman.
Here's the extra point. Kevin Curry on for Casa. Kick is up, and it is good. So with 10:34 to play here in the second quarter, It is 14-14, all knotted up between Casa Roble and Placer. And I have to ask you, Phantom, did you expect anything else between these two teams?
No, I didn't, but I really, I'm a little bit surprised that Casa, with the quick strike capability, I knew they had it, but I'm surprised by the way that the Placers defended the two long plays. And I thought they would be ready, especially with Owens. I mean, you have to have a situation. He's very difficult to cover one-on-one, and he got himself out there, isolated one-on-one, and it's very tough for the defensive back to handle it. And yeah, talk about Connor Campbell. He won the job in passing in the 7-on-7s and everything, and I think we're seeing why tonight.
Yeah, Coach said the other night, he said we wanted to have a battle going into camp. Thought it was going to be a lot closer, and Connor Campbell does not present himself like a sophomore. He is absolutely very poised. That was a great deep ball. He's thrown a couple good ones tonight. So it's 14-14, 10:34 to play. And right now, Casa's kicking right to left, so we'll see if Placer can answer. Curry to kick. This kick is brought to you by Auburn Trophies, 1221 Grass Valley Highway in the Fiddler Green Plaza. Return picked up. Good return, and he's got some leg. Oh, he hurdles the kicker. Nice return by Isaiah Hanley right there. He's made a couple really big plays. He fielded it about the 35-yard return, and they will start off at about the 40-yard line.
Yeah, we're seeing a couple of potential stars out here. Kelly obviously in the backfield. Isaiah Hanley doing exactly the way he was advertised that Joey Montoya said. This guy is the best athlete. We just saw it there. A little bit surprised he didn't hurdle and do a flip, land on his feet and keep going, but maybe that's for later in the season.
It's only week one.
Yeah, it's week one. Here, give him a break, will you?
So Placer breaks the huddle. They turn. Craycraft's going to throw. He throws it out in the flat, and he was looking for number 6, Costa Alexic, but that play was well defended. Even if he caught it, I don't think he was going to go very far, so that'll bring up a second down and 10.
Interesting route there, Scott. They had two guys coming out in the flat, and it was almost a situation where one of the Rams could cover two guys, like you mentioned. If Costa makes the catch, he's probably coming down. There was also a guy in the flat who was also being defended by the same Rams defender.
Placer has the ball, 2nd and 10, 39-yard line. They're going right to left on your radio dial towards the snack bar.
Oh, man.
They're in the wing T turn. This time they fake the inside give, go around the outside. It's the second runner through, and that is Costa Alexic, who was the intended target on that one. He has a good pickup of about 6 yards. I noticed I caught you off guard with the snack bar comment.
Well, no, you didn't catch me off guard. You just reminded me. It looked like Costa maybe, I don't know, tell me what you think. It looked like he had a blocker on front of him. Maybe if he goes outside on that one and doesn't cut back inside, he might get a little further. But, again, another Hillman running back. We're going to have 3 or 4 of them this year that really going to get excited about.
3rd and 3, 9:50 to go here. Second quarter, tie ball game. They turn around, give it to Jaden Suggs. He stopped in the backfield but keeps his feet moving. Number 10, Evan Coombs, had him wrapped up in the backfield, but right there you saw Jaden Suggs using his body. So there's an interesting moment. Yeah. Ball is 4th and 1, 49-yard line. Placer in their own territory in a tie ball game, 9:27 to go. And it looks like Joey Montoya is being Joey Montoya, and they're going to go for this.
Yeah, earlier, as you said, they punted from the ball from the 40, and it worked out well for them in an exchange. This time, I think he's more confident in his team getting this yard, or maybe he's going to try to get him off sides.
They were not set. They're going to have they had a first down, but the guard was moving, not completely set, and they're going to.
Flag on the play.
They actually turned and gave it to Alexic. Would have had a first down, but the guard never put his hand down. It's going to be an illegal shift again, 5-yard penalty.
Second time they've lost a first down on the same penalty. And again, things that Joey Montoya is putting on his list for Monday, you can put that one down there too.
And Phantom, as you said, that now brings a makeable 4th and 1 to a very difficult 4th and 6, and that brings in Jackson Ramirez to punt for the second time tonight. And he'll be kicking to number 11, Cole Owens, who just made a fantastic catch. 14-14, 8:50 to play here, second quarter, Placer High School. Snap is back. It's a good one. Jackson gets his left foot into it. Gets a pretty good kick, end over end. Owens runs over. He's going to field it, and then he lets it go, and it takes a very good Hillman roll, and the ball will be spotted at the 6. And there's a little bit of indecision right there by Cole Owens, whether he grabbed it or not, and then he hung around in the same area.
Yeah, it looked like he didn't want to catch the ball with his back to the onrushing Placer defense. But talk about Joey Montoya, we talked about on the phone with him a couple days ago, and he was talking about last year, and he said there was a couple of games where a penalty here and a penalty there was really, really critical for us taking the early season loss, and I think he's seeing a couple of those situations. As we mentioned, Scott, it's the first game. Mistakes are going to happen, but coaches still don't like them.
Each team only had a scrimmage last week. For Placer, they took on Wood Creek. For Casa Roble, they did things a little differently. They brought in a wing T team, and they brought in a spread team so they could get both looks. But here they take the ball at their own 8-yard line. 1st and 10, they turn, they give it to Josh Taylor. Taylor picks up about 5 yards, and the ball will be spotted about the 12-yard line. A quick hitter.
Yeah, that's the thing they did last year as well, Scott. They can come at you any way. They can go ahead and feature Cole Owens for a couple of plays, then you forget about Taylor, and all of a sudden he's coming up the middle. And I think that's one of the strengths of the Rams team is they have multiple weapons that hurt you in multiple different ways.
8:12 to play here, second quarter. Tie ball game, 14-14. Casa has a bunch formation set to the right. They turn, though, and give it to Josh Taylor again for the second time. He breaks the tackle and picks up a first down. He's all the way out to about the 24-yard line.
Yeah, that's what he did the first series of the game. A couple of carries. He gets hit. He gets yards after the carry. That's exactly what he did there. The Hillmen were waiting for him. They couldn't bring him down.
And you notice Casa's now going with a little bit more of a tempo. And
right.
What they did that time is they put all those 3 receivers set out wide, pull 4 defenders out, and rush it right up the middle. Good scheming that time by offensive coordinator Brett Satchwell. Campbell will operate out of the pistol. 3 receivers set right, 1 left. And we've got Evan Coombs in motion. Left-handed Campbell throws it out, and that pass is incomplete, intended for Cole Owens.
Cole Owens was open on the out route there as they were just clean. They had the 3 guys out, as you said. They took one of them, put him in motion, cleared out a little more space for Owens. He came down and cut to the sideline, was open, the ball overthrown. A tough pass to throw for a left-handed guy from the right left hash mark over there.
As you mentioned, the ball spotted on the left hash, signaling in their plays. 2 receivers to the left, 2 receivers to the right. Quarterback is in the pistol look, which means the running back is right behind him. They turn, they give it to the running back, breaks the tackle at the line of scrimmage, but it doesn't go much further than that. Pickup of a very short 2 or 3 yards. Placer Hillman all over that one, sniffing it out. Linebacker Josh Maxwell and Mitchell Trinket in on the tackle. It'll be 37.
Yeah, first guy, he got past the first guy, but luckily for the Hillman, there was another defender standing right there waiting for him, so the gain just 2 yards and sets up a 3rd and 7. Let's see what they do and see if they go to Cole Owens.
3rd and 7, 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. He's looking for Cole Owens again, but there's a little bit of miscommunication there as Cole Owens went a 10-yard route down the field. And because of good pressure that time applied by the Placer Hillman, Connor Campbell just had to throw that one away. So Placer's defense answering, and they are forcing a Casa punt.
Now, the last time he ran the corner route, there was nobody between him and the quarterback. This time it looked like Placer dropped somebody in a little bit below Owens. The ball had to be thrown over his head, and then it was thrown over Owens' head. So good adjustment by the Hillman. As you mentioned, a big stop right here.
Campbell on that drive was 0 for 2 on throws. They were able to move the ball out from the 5 to about the 25 to help with the field position complexion. Kevin Curry on hand to kick. Gets off a pretty good one. Isaiah Hanley back deep. He's going to just stay away from it. Yelling poison, poison, get away from it. And the ball's going to stop at about the 38-yard line, and that's where Placer will take over on their second possession here in the second quarter.
So teams are kind of alternating, going out and feeling good about their offense, and then they come back and go, no, I feel good about our defense now. Placer did that. They had Taylor had a couple of good runs, and then they finally stopped him and set up a tough play, a tough situation for Campbell. He tried Owens a couple of times, really not close either time to Cole Owens, and so great job by the Hillman on defense.
We talked to Coach Horner the other night, the head coach at Casa, and he said, you know Joey Montoya is going to make adjustments.
Absolutely.
And it looks like they made an adjustment, and they actually made Campbell uncomfortable, and he was 0 for 2 on those throws, and they put him in a punting situation. So now Placer with 6:50 to play here in the second quarter. The ball's on the right hash, 39-yard line. Give them an opportunity. Now remember, Casa won the toss, deferred. They get the ball first in the second half. So this is an important drive for Placer. If they can eat up some clock, put something on the board, put some pressure on Casa.
Right, because as you pointed out, they put some pressure on Connor Campbell that time. Remember, a sack ended one of the drives earlier in the game, and so if they're putting that idea into his head, remember, he looks like a heck of a quarterback, but he's just a sophomore. And if you have Xander Esty, coming down and Colin Bray come down on you, and they're getting in your backfield, and that's one thing that Joey Montoya told us also, Scott, the other day. It looks like we have a penalty here. He is really expecting big things from Xander and from Colin Bray this season.
The other thing he talked about was Xander Esty, committing to Oregon State,
right,
putting that recruiting process behind him so he can enjoy the play. So they break the huddle, they turn, they give on the counter play. Huge hole, big run, and there they go all the way down to about the 25-yard line. That's Costa Alexic. Huge pickup. The ball on the penalty spotted at about the 50 and a 25-yard counter run. They're going to spot it at about the 27. First down, Hillman.
Yeah, it looked like almost like Casa was a little bit taken aback by the penalty because after the penalty was marched off, Placer came up and ran the play right away.
Craycraft back to pass. He tries to hit the motion man, which was Baylor Kelly, but in the backfield right along with him was number 66, Joe Dexter. For Casa, that'll bring down play 2nd and 10.
Yeah, one thing we should mention is that Casa looks like they've stepped up their pressure a little bit. Josh is having to throw the ball under some duress each time he's thrown it, and a couple of times they've been on target, but that time he couldn't get the ball out to the flats.
Trying to get something quick there. Placer in that quick wing T break. Turn, get a quick hike. They get the second back through, and he is caught in the backfield. Good penetration that time by Casa Roble, and they get a good penetration. It'll now be 3rd and long, and that again was Costa Alexic, the ball carrier. So what was 1st and 10 at the 28 is now 3rd and 12 at the 29.
And let's see if Josh has to throw the ball, and let's see what kind of pressure Casa puts on him, what kind of protection that the Hillman lineman can give him.
14-14, tie ball game, 6 minutes to play here, second quarter. Placer Hillman against the Casa Roble Rams. No surprise, this was a close one last year. It's close right now, and really, as we talked about at the outset, the front five on both sides are determining the dictating the tempo of the game.
Yeah, I think we've seen a little bit more defense than we thought we'd see, than we saw last year in that 40-33 game. But as you mentioned, a couple of stops on both sides, and obviously this one's going to go down to the wire, but it's not going to be maybe as high scoring as people thought.
So Joey Montoya takes his 3rd timeout. We'll go ahead and take that timeout with him. You're listening to Placer Football on 104.5 FM, AM 950. Voice of the Foothills. This is Placer Football.
This is your home for Friday night football in the Foothills, 104.5 FM and AM 950 KAHI.
5:44 to go, second quarter. Placer 14, Casa Roble 14. Placer has just burned their 3rd timeout, 3rd and 12, 29-yard line. Junior quarterback Josh Craycraft turns this time, gives. Looks like that is, it got an edge, and he's going to go all the way. Costa Alexic, he's knocked out about the 2. It looked like he was going to take it all the way down into the end zone, but he was knocked down at about the 5, they're going to say. They ran a sweep play. And how many times do you see a 3rd and 12 on a sweep play into the boundary go for a first down?
I don't know. I saw it a lot last year, but that was Lavelle Davis. Acosta over there with a kind of a deceptive change of pace a couple of times during that run, and that the last one got him knocked out of bounds about the 5, but he turned it up, kind of like picked and chose his way down the sidelines.
First and goal, 7-yard line. Hillman, this time they turn, give it to Suggs. Suggs has stood up right at the 7-yard line. I don't think he picked up anything. But with 5:20 to play, 2nd and goal at the 7 in a tie ball game, this is a very pivotal point in the game.
Yeah, and when you pick up a 3rd and 12 like that, like you mentioned, Scott, that gives your team obviously a lot of confidence, but it also means, hey, we did that, we've got to go ahead and push this one in. We need to get 7. We're in a position now where Ramirez obviously well within range for him, but the Hillmen are thinking we've got at least 2 plays, we've got to go at least 7 yards.
Great play call by Joey Montoya. Everybody expecting a pass. He goes to the ground. This time they go double reverse. They hand it into Baylor Kelly. Baylor Kelly walks in. Touchdown, Placer. And the Placer Hillmen take the lead 20-14 pending the extra point. And that's your typical wing tee. Hand it to the first back through, who then hands it into Baylor Kelly. And Baylor Kelly walks into the end zone and Placer has responded offensively. They lead it 20-14, 4:47 to go here in the second quarter.
We've talked about making some mistakes based on, not having the right guys on the field, but that kind of teamwork right there takes time, and they put the time in, and that one looked perfect.
Jackson Ramirez on for the extra point. Snap is back, kick is up, and the kick is good. 21-14 Placer with 4:47 to go here in the second quarter. What an exciting game. I mean, let's set the scoring here for you real quick. Placer gets the ball, they start off on their 15. They go 85 yards the first time they have the ball.
85 yards right away, yeah.
And then Casa gets the kick, and they go the other way.
Yeah, they do it differently. 11 plays maybe for Placer and 4 plays for Casa. So it's a different style, but it's back and forth, which we did expect here tonight.
Game changed to a later time because of the temperature, so the JV game ran a little bit longer. And again, congratulations to the Placer Hillman JV, who won 39-21 in a heck of a game, but turned into a mass unit there at the ends with all the cramps due to the heat on the ground.
We had, I think, 7 straight plays, 7 different players with cramps, and they're okay. Yeah, that was you're getting in trouble because it was 45-21, and you're taking 6 points from the Hillman, and you're not supposed to do that. You're here at the home.
I just got corrected.
You're the voice of the Foothills, the home of the Hillman. You got to get that right, my friend.
45-21, my bad. This kickoff is still brought to you by Auburn Trophies, 1221 Grass Valley Highway in the Fiddler Green Plaza. It is caught by Owens, who picks it up at about the 10 and takes it up to about the 22. So that's where Casa will start things off, down 21-14.
Good job by Placer. They had 2 or 3 guys that hit Cole Owens. And this is, as you mentioned earlier, Casa gets the ball to start the second half. So this is a huge drive right here because obviously you don't want them to drive down the length of the field, score, and then get the ball back to start the second half. So we'll see if the Hillman defense can come up like they did last time against Casa.
Casa has all 3 timeouts, which Placer doesn't. I want to thank our statistician, Glenn Bishop, for correcting me on the score. Placer won 45-21. I met him last week, and he's agreed to do stats. If he corrects me again, we might move him to another spotting duty.
That's not going to work, yeah.
Connor Campbell takes a snap. Quick throw out to the side, and he throws it a little bit too far out in front. So he's missed his last 3 throws, and I think the pressure of Placer is now kind of getting to him as he had a quick hitter, had a receiver open, but he threw it out in front of it.
Yeah, he hit that receiver open in the flat, but it was kind of a weird play because that's one of those throws that you're throwing where the guy is running away from you as you're throwing it on that trajectory, and he kind of was running away from where Campbell led him a little bit, and the receiver actually ran away from it. So good play for the Hillman to get to 2nd and 10. Now they have to look for Owens, I think.
Ball's at the 24-yard line. 4 minutes and 36 seconds to go, and they do. They go to Josh Taylor, the running back, who breaks a tackle, and he's up to about the 30-yard line for a pickup of 5.
Taylor for a gain of 6.
So that'll bring up a more manageable 3rd and 4. He actually picked up about 6 yards on that. Seems like Connor Campbell, whenever Casa needs 5 or 6 yards, they feel very comfortable with Josh Taylor, who they call one of their best athletes.
Yeah, I don't know how much he weighs, but pound for pound, he has to break more tackles than anybody because he takes on 2 or 3 guys every single time and doesn't go down.
3rd and 4. Ball spotted at the 30-yard line. 3 receivers were set left, and now they shift right. Isolation coverage, and guess who's one-on-one over there is Cole Owens. Play action this time. Connor Campbell rolling out, dumps it off in the flat, and it's dropped. That would have been a first down. I think Campbell could have run and picked it up on his own, but I understood why he dropped it off to Evan Combs, and Combs ran before he actually caught it, and that brings up a 4th down.
Yeah, I think if I'm Casa on the coaching staff, I'm very encouraged by that play by Connor Campbell because he got himself out, showed good athleticism, rolled it out to his left because he's a left-handed quarterback, and I think he makes the right play. If you're a coach, you'd rather have your quarterback, kick it off to somebody rather than try to turn it upfield yourself. So he put the ball where he was supposed to put the ball, and the guy just dropped it.
Good throw there, would have converted and made a first down. So instead it's 4th and 4, 30-yard line. 3:47 to go, second quarter. Placer Hillman leading this one 21-14 and about to get the ball back. Isaiah Hanley standing at the 35. And he is not going to field this one. He's going to let it go. And then he picks it up at about the 20. Eludes the first 2 tacklers, and he's got a heck of a return in front of him. He's all the way out to midfield. Phantom, that was a heck of a return. He watched it go to the 20. He lured in a couple of tacklers. He broke them and had a 30-yard return. And now with 3:31 to go here in the second quarter, Placer has an opportunity to get some more points and add to their 21-14 lead.
Yeah, it was a punt that he wasn't going to field, and then it kept rolling away from him, and he kept getting mad at himself for not fielding it. And then it took a big bounce, and he goes, well, as long as it's going to bounce up to me, he got it. He outran his pursuers, came up the sidelines, and again, he has been electric so far in his first half of varsity ball.
Ball spotted right at the 50 on the right hash. They turn this time, and they give that looks like it's Alexic. And correction, that's Dash Tebbs, number 2, it looks like. And he picks up about
Number 2, Dash Tebbs.
7 yards, so it'll be a 2nd and 3.
Yeah, he got outside pretty quickly. I can see why you thought it was Alexic, because he ran it that way and bounced off a couple of defenders.
Slow developing play, and the refs are blowing this one dead. Could be a shift or a false start at this point. 3:03 to play here in the second quarter. We'll take a look. But they have 2nd and 3 at the 37. Excuse me, at the 43. Good opportunity here.
Right, and let's see if they got bitten again by the illegal motion bug.
Could be their 3rd one. Let's see what the is. It is a false start.
The call against the Hillmen.
So that'll take a 2nd and 3 back to a 2nd and 8 and move the ball back to the 48-yard line.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of really good synchronized plays, but remember, there's some new guys in there, and this is a very tough, intricate offense, and the timing is so important, and a couple times it's been off.
Timing is crucial. Ball set on the left hash. This time Craycraft's going to throw. He hits a receiver. Good throw, quick throw. Craycraft completes that one. It looks like
Craycraft's pass complete.
they're right up close to the first down marker. Number 10, Dominic Laidlaw, the one with the catch. It comes up 1 yard short, so it's 3rd and 1. So here's a makeable 3rd and 1. What you don't want here is a penalty.
No, you don't want your penalty. That was a really good pass by Craycraft. I'm sure they're going to go straight up the middle, and that's what they're trying to do, and we got a fumble.
Oh, no, they turn and they give it. Looks like it's Baylor Kelly, and he puts it on the ground. That is the first turnover of the game, and it comes at a crucial time. 2:38 to go here in the second quarter. Placer leading 21-14, moving the ball. He picked up the first down, and then the ball pops loose. So now, really, Casa has an opportunity with the ball at the 40-yard line. They have all 3 timeouts. 2:38 to go here in the first half.
Yeah, and this is a tough offense for the Placer defense to have to go right back out against, because remember, a drop pass is the only reason that last drive didn't keep going.
Snap, turn, give it inside to Josh Taylor. Taylor breaks the first tackle, picks up 3.
Josh Taylor brought down after a gain of 3.
And now Casa's running with a little bit more urgency and tempo. They have 3 receivers set right, solo receiver left. Turn, give it to Taylor again, breaks the first tackle. Second tackler breaks him down, but he picked up 3. That'll bring up a 3rd and 4. 2:11 to play here, clock running, second quarter. Placer leading this one 21-14. Casa definitely picking up the tempo, and they will take their first time out with 1:55 here to play in the first half.
Yeah, I think they got a little bit ahead of themselves there. They wanted to go fast, but they really didn't know what they were doing. And I'm saying, as far as the Hillman defense, you held Taylor to 6 yards on 2 carries. That's pretty good defense right there. And I think that the Rams expect a little bit more when they give the ball to Taylor, and they probably thought they could break one in those two runs. But Hillman stepping up and getting them, and then causing Casa to call that timeout.
Placer Hillman defensive coordinator is Eric Rodardi. He has been with coach since 2008. He's been the coordinator since 2009. They run a base 4-3 attack. And with the exception of 1 turnover, so far in this ball game, it's been as good as advertised. Right now, 1:55 to play in the first half. Placer Hillman 21, Casa Roble 14. It is a 3rd and 4. Ball is spotted at the 46-yard line on the left hash. Casa moving left to right on your radio dial. Ball is pretty close to the big P, right in the middle of the field, indicating it's a home game for Placer. So we'll see what Connor Campbell can do here. As you mentioned earlier, his last throw was dropped. It was a good throw.
Yep.
He throws the bubble screen. This time he goes out to Cole Owens. Owens breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle. He's deep inside. He's running away from the Hillman, and he will go into the end zone for a touchdown. Touchdown on 3rd and 4 from the 46. No flags on the play. Connor Campbell to Cole Owens on the wide receiver screen. He broke at least 3 tackles on that one, Phantom.
Yeah, that's the disappointing part. They're going to look for Owens. He got the ball behind a couple of blockers, but at 3 or 4, Hillman had a really good shot at him. Once he got past those 3, it was just a sprint to the finish line.
Points off of a turnover. They take the fumble, and they turn it into 6 points. So it's 21-20 pending the extra point. 1:43 to play here. Placer gets the ball back. They will not have any timeouts. Ball's down. Kick is up, and it is good. We are all knotted up here at Lefebvre Field. The score is 21-21. 1:43 to play.
Yeah, and this is 21-21. It's a game when we've had a lot of big plays, but we've also had a lot of mistakes on both sides. Obviously, the fumble there to give Casa Roble the touchdown and the momentum. I think right now the Rams made a couple of key penalties early in this first half that allowed the Hillman to extend a couple of drives. So first game mistakes being made on both sides. But now with a minute 40, see if the Hillman can maybe do something, because as we've said a couple of times, the Rams have the ball to start the second half.
Connor Campbell and Cole Owens have really, you got to put some on Connor Campbell. He is a sophomore, was standing a lot of rush. We had 4 incomplete passes in a row, but really got his feet underneath him. He found his right target in Cole Owens, and Owens made an athletic play and took it to the house. Yeah,
and as we talked about a couple of times, Casa knows who their stars are, and they get the ball to Taylor and they get the ball to Owens when they need to.
Kerr's going to kick again. This kickoff is brought to you by Auburn Trophies, 1221 Grass Valley Highway in the Fiddler Green Plaza. Hanley grabs it at about the 5. He takes it up to about the 25-yard line on the right hash, and that's where Placer will take over. Phantom, 1:37 to play here. They do not have any timeouts. How risky are you going to be with your young junior quarterback, knowing you got a tie ball game and a whole second half to play?
Yeah, and we'll see right away. I think they'll probably come out and go on the ground. And also, you don't want to compound the mistake that was just made a couple of minutes ago, giving the ball back to the Rams in great field position. So the worst you can do is give it up, but at least you want to keep the ball for the rest of the half.
And if you're Casa, I bet you wish you had all 3 of those timeouts right here. They're going to go to the air. This time, Craycraft throws. He's got a receiver who is wide open. He caught it on a crossing route. It goes all the way down to the 34-yard line, and that is the big tight end, Josh Maxwell. You and I think they might be conservative, go to the ground, and Craycraft throws a great ball on a crossing route to the tight end, Josh Maxwell. We got a first down, 1:27 to go. 38-yard line, and they're in Casa territory.
Yeah, if I knew the guy was going to be that wide open, though, I would have said go ahead and throw it, because I didn't know. They waited for the first guy to clear, and they got it to Maxwell.
Quick hitter that time by Craycraft, trying to catch Casa off guard with a quick 5-yard out route. Pretty fortunate that ball fell incomplete. That was well defended. It'll be 2nd and 10, 1:19 to play first half. Tie score 21-21. Ball's on the 38-yard line of Casa.
Yeah, more risk than reward on that one. That's a tough play. If you're not going to go straight down the field with just this amount of time left on the clock, you really have to keep going that north and south, as we say. You can't go sideways.
Well, as you mentioned, Phantom, the ball sits on the left hash. That ball was thrown to the far right hash. Play action again. Craycraft throws. This time he throws it up, and it is intercepted. Throws the ball. It is intercepted by number 3, free safety, Nick Gray. Goes up. It was a one-on-one route. It looked like he had Isaiah Hanley, who's got his hands up in the air. But 2 drives in a row for the Placer Hillman. Yep. They move into Casa territory. They have a 3rd down fumble, which leads to points. And right there, with 1:12 to go, the first interception of the season for Josh Craycraft.
Yeah, and I think when they look back at that one, they're going to see that he kind of threw that one up. There were a couple of receivers running a couple of different routes that ended up kind of in the same area, and I think Josh just threw that one up and was hoping for the best.
1:12 to go. Acosta's got the ball at the 12. They turn. They give it to their tailback, who is stuffed, but nothing really Placer can do. They've burned all 3 of their timeouts, 2 of them in the first quarter, 1 of them in the second quarter. 1 minute to play.
And you got to feel the Rams, Scott, are probably feeling pretty fortunate right now. The last 2 drives look like they could have turned into Hillman points and turned into Hillman turnovers.
They really escaped something there. 45 seconds to go. And knowing they're getting the ball first in the second half, it looks like Casa's just going to allow the clock to run down. They've got the ball at their own 12-yard line, 2nd and 10. 21-21 is the score. Mass substitutions coming in. It looks like they're going to go to their victory formation and take a knee, and that's exactly what they're going to do as Connor Campbell goes under center, takes a knee, puts his knee down, and that'll essentially take us to halftime, the last play of the first half, and a very exciting first half it was. And at the end of the first half, it's Placer Hillman 21, the Casa Roble Rams 21 as the clock winds down.
Rams 21.
We're going to go ahead and take the halftime break along with you. You're listening to Placer High School football on 104.5 FM, AM 950, the voice of the foothills. This is Placer football.
You're listening to Friday Night Football in the Foothills on 104.5 FM and AM 950 KAHI.
We'll start things off in the second half. It'll be Placer kicking off to Casa, and this kickoff is brought to you by Auburn Trophies online at auburntrophies.com. Kicking off will be Jackson Ramirez, who does all the kicking from the left side. He'll be kicking back to the always dangerous Cole Owens deep, and Casa will have the ball. They'll be going left to right into the scoreboard to start off the second half. And we are underway here in the second half. The kick is deep. It is fielded in the end zone, and that means it's an automatic touchback. Cannot take it out in high school, and that's where Casa will start the second half. Good kick.
The good kick, and I think that might have been a benefit for the Hillman, because I think Cole Owens had himself a little bit of speed. And he was going to come back out on that one, and a great kick, as you say, by Ramirez, who's been nothing short of sensational with the left leg tonight.
Made all 3 of his extra points, had a really good punt to pin Casa back early, and they ended up kicking it back to him, and then the Hillman ended up getting a touchdown on that. So it's 21-21, just starting things off in the third quarter. Placer led 7-0. Casa evened it up 7-7. Placer went ahead 14-7. They've never trailed. First play of the second half is a run to Josh Taylor out of the spread look. And again, as you mentioned, breaks a couple tackles, picks up about 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 7 for Casa.
That's the second or third run. He's broke a couple of tackles, but still only got 3 yards. And if they hold him to 3, obviously the Hillmen are doing their job.
Shows you Colin Bray, Ian Reynolds, Hunter DeRogers, and Mason Yoakum are getting penetration. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Ball right in the center of the field, 28-yard line. Pistol look, Connor Campbell turns, fakes it, steps up, throws the ball deep. He's got Cole Owens, and good defensive play right there by number 5, Isaiah Hanley. Ball was thrown a little bit behind Cole Owens on the post route, but trying to go back up and get it by Isaiah Hanley did a nice job defending it.
Yeah, it's a 50-yard throw for the sophomore left-hander Connor Campbell. And Hanley, I thought, maybe Cole Owens was a little bit ahead of him, but I thought Hanley had it measured out pretty well. He tried to come in underneath and cut him off, and the ball was overthrown.
We talk about second half adjustments as coming up a little shaken up is number 7, Elijah Huddle. He was running an underneath route. It is 3rd and 6, so the training staff for Casa Roble, the Rams, come out and tend to him. That's their head coach, Chris Horner, walking off with him.
Yeah, we talked to Chris Horner, as we mentioned. And one thing that comes through with him, he loves his guys. I mean, he really loves these guys, and he had a great team last year, a little more veteran team, a little younger this year. He still didn't know who his team leaders were going to be when we talked to him, but he really loves what this team can do, the potential of it.
Bunch formation to the right, solo receiver left. This time Campbell turns, steps up. He's going to run. Hole opens up. He's going to pick up the first down. He's got a pick of about 15 yards. And that was not a designed run. They had a bunch formation to the right, solo receiver to the left. He dropped back to pass, and the left side opened wide open for him, and he ran for the first down. Big pickup by Connor Campbell. Very mature decision made there.
It really was. The Hillman had a defender that was kind of spotting on Connor Campbell, but he couldn't get to him before Connor got around the corner, so a big play by the Rams and another facet to their offense that the Hillman didn't need to see.
1st and 10, ball's at the 38-yard line. 11 minutes and 12 seconds to go, third quarter. This game is tied 21-21. First possession of the second half. 2 receivers set left, ball on the left hash. Receiver goes in motion is Logan March. That will leave Cole Owens by himself. They turn, they give it inside to Josh Taylor, and Taylor again trying to break tackles, but that time he is all wrapped up and did not get out of the grasp of the Hillman. The Hillman, a big defensive play, and they might have gotten a yard there. Good defense, and I think coming up from his safety spot to make that tackle. Actually, that was Mitchell Trinka.
Yeah, unofficially, that's the tackle of the day so far because he stopped Josh Taylor in his tracks. That is not easy to do.
In the first sign of contact. He usually breaks the first one.
Yeah, usually yards after hit is usually very high for Taylor, and that time it was not so.
3 receivers set right. Ball on the left hash. Campbell drops back to pass. They're setting up a screen. He throws it. It is intercepted. He overthrew, and this one could be going all the way back the other direction. We've got a pick 6, folks, and we've got a Placer touchdown. They go up 27-21. Refs seem to be waving something off. There is a penalty flag on the play.
Number 8. Nick Horn on the interception, return for the touchdown.
Nick Horn from his linebacker spot. Connor Campbell overthrowing the screen pass, and it was a pick 6, and now the refs are congregating around the 35-yard line. Penalty flag on the play. Hold everything. 2nd and 9 would be a huge turning point in the game.
Well, it looks like it's either going to be offsetting penalties or a penalty on the Hillman.
Well, offsetting would hurt because they would replay the down.
Yeah, they'd replay the down, but, I mean, nobody's celebrating, so obviously something's going on, and it's going to be against the Hillman.
Looks like it might have been an offsides defense. We have not got the official signal yet, but let's see. They did move the ball up 5 yards. Let's see, and that is a huge play right there.
As you said, it was a late developing screen that was just overthrown by Campbell right in the hands of Horn.
They call personal foul. Roughing the passer is the call. And that negates a pick 6 on the play by Nick Horn on a screen route. And let's just face it, the defensive staff of Placer is giving an earful to the refs there. But nonetheless, it's now 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line as Casa has now, because of the penalty, moved into Placer territory.
Yeah, obviously not what you want to see happen. And, roughing the passer on a pass like that, you don't usually see that. And we didn't see that, so we can't really comment on it.
This time Campbell gives it to Taylor. Taylor bounces from the left hash, takes it all the way to the middle of the field, picks up about 6 yards. You could feel the air kind of come out of the building.
Yeah.
This was how exciting a pick 6 was. Looks like Placer goes ahead. Instead, now it's a 2nd and 4, and Casa's on the move. The ball spotted at the 39-yard line.
Yeah, and you have to tackle Taylor with everything, so you can't afford to be deflated. You've got to come back and you've got to bring it.
Low snap. Campbell picks it up. I think he wanted to give it to Taylor. It didn't work out, and he a busted play pretty much. He does a good job just to catch the ball, but he lost 3 yards on that. Snap was low. They were going to try to do a quick hitter to Josh Taylor. He missed him because of the bad snap. He scrambled around and lost 3 yards.
Yeah, he sit there and he went, well, there's a guy I'm supposed to give it to, but he's not here anymore. No. So I got to do something myself. And in that case, if you're Casa, you're just hoping that there's no fumble on the play, and you want that quarterback to get down on the ground before anything bad happens to you. You've already got a huge break in this series. You don't want to go ahead and make a mistake.
Great job by Placer's defensive front of getting pressure, getting in on the quarterback. So what was 2nd and short is now 3rd and 8. Ball is at the 44-yard line. 9:13 to play. 21-21. Casa and Placer. This is the first possession of the second half. Connor Campbell set in the pistol. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Sets up in the pocket. He throws. Guess who he's going to? That's Cole Owens. And an outstanding defensive play down the left sideline I believe that is Isaiah Hanley again, basically our best athlete against your best athlete, and Isaiah Hanley makes a great play.
I think what he's doing is he's counting on Owens wanting to go deep. I think if Owens breaks off a route, he's probably going to have a little bit of separation, but he's breaking on him going deep, and Hanley stays with him the whole way and then just goes up again and gets at the highest point.
Holding is a call against the Rams.
There's a penalty flag on the field, and it's a holding call. So, and interestingly, instead of making it 4th and 8, it looks like Coach Joey Montoya is going to take it, giving them a 3rd and, because it's a spot penalty, so it'll be 3rd and a country mile. Over 20 easily, so the ball goes all the way back to the 36.
Yeah, if that's just a regular 10-yard penalty or something, you think maybe Joey's going to go ahead and let him stay on 4th down. But if they're 4th and 10 from that yard line, they might go for it anyway. So he says, no, I'm going to push you as far back as possible. And this play is either going to be a handoff to Taylor right up the middle, or they're going to try to go and throw the deep pass, I think.
Or that wide receiver screen over here to Cole Owens. So here they go.
And there
Campbell
it is.
back to pass. He's going to go to Owens. Owens is turning on the break, and it's fortunate. Defender fell down, but that ball falls short, and Casa will definitely have to punt. So that time Campbell trying to hit Owens on the corner route. Ball falls incomplete, and Casa will have to punt.
Yeah, that's the 3rd time I think that I can recall that they tried to go ahead and take Owens and run him out to the sidelines and have Campbell throw the ball across the field, and it hasn't been close any time. As you mentioned, defender falls down, but Owens had no chance at that ball.
It's a long throw. If you're on the far side hash and you're throwing an outside corner, it's only 30 yards in yardage, but it's a 55-yard throw there.
You got to think at some point they're going to turn him back inside and get the defense over committing.
8:51 to play, 3rd quarter. Casa had the ball. They are now punting. Isaiah Hanley back deep. Snap is at back. Kick is up. Pretty good one. Hanley fields the line drive, punted about the 32. He's dancing, and he's taken down at the 35, but a really exciting 4 minutes. It looked like it was a pick 6, and they went ahead. Plaster went ahead. It was a roughing the passer penalty. Moved the ball. Looks like Casa's driving, and then that whole thing is negated by a holding call. So here we go. Let's see what the Plaster Hillman can do. First offensive possession here in the second half. 8:41 to play. 21-21.
As you mentioned, Scott, deflated after the penalty and still had the wherewithal to come back and stop them on a couple of long passes. That's their bread and butter, and Hanley breaks one up and one is overthrown. So great job by the Hillman defense.
Ball's on the 37, set on the right hash. They turn, give it to the big back, Jaden Suggs. Suggs picks up about 3, moves the ball to the middle of the field up to about the 40-yard line. Suggs, the big running back, he takes the first call of the second half, and you can see Joey Montoya probably wants to slow things down, run the ball, get some pressure on the Casa defense.
Yeah, Suggs is his guy up the middle. He's the guy that's going to take the big hits and try to maybe break one if he can, but he's going to take the big hits and open things up outside for the speedsters.
Ball's in the middle of the field. Motion man this time. They turn. They give it to the inside counter, but Casa got penetration there. They saw that come in the hole. It was trying to be a deceptive play on the outside sweep, but they turned and gave it up inside, and Casa sniffed that out right away. Lost 3 yards on the play. It'll bring up a 3rd and 10. Ball spotted at the 37.
Yeah, that's what you don't like to see if you're Placer, because your offense relies on intricate handoffs and everything, inside counters, and if it takes a little while to get going, and if they get penetration from the Rams' defensive line, that spells trouble.
Ball's in the middle of the field. Placer's going right to left on your radio dial. 7:30 to play, 21-21. And it's amazing how close Casa's defensive line and linebackers are right after they break the huddle. This time Craycraft rolls out. He's going to throw. He's under pressure. He breaks away, and he's going to go down after picking up a yard, but he really had no chance. There's a late flag that comes in, and we got a helmet that's off on the field, so we'll have to see what the penalty is. But Craycraft was a slow roll to the right, and they were in on him right away, Phantom. Yeah, as you mentioned, a lot of guys in the box there, and I think in that situation you're going to want to go back to what he did early in the game, which is those quick hitter passes over the middle when you've got guys coming in, because he's trying to get the long rollout on that one, and he was being pursued by the entire side of the defense. Did a good job just to get it back. So let's see what the penalty is here. That looks like a personal foul penalty, which should give Placer a first down. Is that a horse collar tackle? Horse collar tackle. And that's a big break, because really there's a 4th and 10 where Placer's going to have to punt. Instead, it's going to be 1st and 10.
Well, I'll tell you, Scott, I don't know if I want to be in either team's locker room on Monday because there's a lot of good things that are going on tonight. But I think coaching staffs have a way of just remembering the bad things, and there's going to be penalties that both teams are going to take to that Monday meeting that they're not going to want to go back over.
Well, knowing coaches, they won't wait till Monday. I have a feeling with text messages and emails, this will be Saturday. They'll be hearing about this.
Absolutely.
So
it's not
some confusion here now. It would have been 4th down, but it should be a 15-yard penalty if it's a targeting penalty, and it should be a first down. But let's see.
They didn't march off 15, I do not think.
It did put down the first down box, and they marched off 10, it looks like. Both coaches lobbying their points.
Now they're moving the sticks.
At the 47-yard line, that is a first down.
Not 15 yards. Looks like they gave him 10, but that is an automatic first down. And a big break really would have been a punting situation for Placer.
Absolutely. Let's see what Placer does now, because they've got penetration against their running game, and they've also got penetration against the rollout. So let's see what Placer comes up with.
This time they give the ball to the running back in motion, and he picks up a first down, and that has really been one of their most successful plays. That's
Inside the 45-yard line.
looks like that's Costa Alexic. There's a flag down again, this time in motion. They had Costa Alexic come in motion, turned, gave him the ball, and he got the end. Another flag on the play here.
So we didn't seem to have that many. Now we've got another false start.
False start, the call against the Hillman.
False start, the call. That'll negate another first down. So we've had 3 pretty critical penalties. There's 6:56 to play here in the third quarter. The score's 21-21, but so far the story of the second half has been who's going to make the least amount of mistakes.
Yeah, who's going to make the – yeah, exactly. Roughing the passer on a pick six, and the third time that they've robbed themselves of a first down here with an illegal procedure penalty, false start penalty. And, again, it's first game. You're getting the timing down and everything, but it seems to happen at times that it really bites them.
Twice negating 4th and short situations that would have been first down. So 1st and 15, ball's at the 42. Craycraft going to throw again. This time he hits. And that looks like it's Baylor Kelly or Alexic. Excuse me, that's Costa Alexic. He picks up about 4 yards. He took quite a blow, but a good completion, a pickup of about 3 or 4 yards. He was the motion man. Looks like Alexic is winded a little bit. He'll come off the field, and they're helping him on the sideline. Looks like he might have got the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah, as a quick hitter, which I like to see Craycraft throw the quick passes, Alexa got it, but there was a guy that had the beat on him the whole time. It hit him. He got away from him, but a couple other guys came up. So a short gain on the play. I think they only got about 2 yards on that play, and that brings up 2nd and 12 now, but at least a completion for Craycraft.
Ball's at the 45. Quick huddle and break. They go play action again. This time Craycraft throws it on a line. Great throw and catch. Complete up the field for a first down, and a nice job right there. It looks like he's number 3, Josh Maxwell, the big tight end, and that was a big step up and throw. Play action right on the line.
Yeah, sorry, Scott. That's what I like to see. We talked about it. I like to see the ball over the middle. I think that's where the areas are that are open for the Hillman with the passing game, and that one was a well-thrown ball by Craycraft. 1st and 10, ball's at the 42. This time they're going to go into the boundary, and it's Hanley again, and Hanley's got the ball down inside the 20. I got a penalty flag down on a downfield block. There's actually 2 flags down on the play. So we'll see what the call is. They might have called the receiver downfield who was doing the blocking, but we'll see. Again, they go to the outside run play to Hanley. He has a nice run, a pickup of over 20 yards. We'll see if it's negated. Yeah, you make a great point. They really hit the outsides, and that's really where they can and you're right, that's going to be a legal block. But they are attacking the outside. When they can get to the outside, they're making big yardage. And that's a play where you don't want to tell the guy not to block, but in a situation like that, he can just stay away, and the runner's going to be okay anyway. Still going to be positive yardage here because it's a spot penalty, so they'll move the ball down. It just won't be inside the 20 like they thought. The ball will be spotted at the 30-yard line. Yeah, 5:41 to go. Sorry, Phantom. 5:41 to go. 21-21. Ball's on the left hash. Placer's going from right to left near the snack shack. They break out the wing tee.
goes in motion, and they drew. It looks like they might have drawn Casa off sides, and they did. There's 5 yards right there.
Now, you played a lot of football, Scott, so you would know better than I do. It seems like we're having a lot of penalties here in the third quarter. Do you think any of that is due to fatigue with the guys out here in the first game?
It's 100% due to fatigue because you're in an emotional game. In the first half, you're thinking clearly. Now your body's running a little lower on fluids. It's hot. The energy's there, and all of a sudden you've got, critical mistakes, and you're trying to make a big play.
Yeah, absolutely.
They break the huddle this time. They turn, try the outside again, flag down again on the play. Hanley tries to take the corner. It would have been a short pickup, but we'll see. Back judge throws it in. That's usually where we see holding.
Yeah, that's what I think. He threw it right at a couple of linemen that were tussling in there with the Rams, and I think we're going to see holding. And that's the hazard right there. When you get guys to the outside, it spreads out the line so you can really see the holding if it happens, and that's exactly what happened. So we're going to lose 10 here.
5:09 to play in the third quarter, and if this was a heavyweight fight, we had Tommy Hearns and Marvelous Marvin Hagler in the first half, and this is really coming to a rope-a-dope situation. As we played almost 7 minutes. There's been no points, and but Placer has an opportunity. First and 15.
You make a great point, but if I don't tell you, Thomas Hearns is not a heavyweight, so you can't have a heavyweight fight with Thomas Hearns. I'm going to get letters about that. I've got to correct you.
That's right. This time they go around the outside at Baylor Kelly. Kelly breaks open, breaks the tackle, and this time he's got it all the way down to the 15. He might be a flyweight, but that's a first down, and they're down inside the 20.
Well done, my friend, and I'm sure you noticed that one was keyed by the blocking on the outside. Once Kelly got the ball, he had a couple of guys out on the flank that were laying down blocks for him. A couple of the Casa players were complaining that they got grabbed. But if it happened in this game, it was a penalty. I got to believe it was called because they call everything. So a big play by the Hillman, and they kind of needed a big play. And now they're in that part of the field where the big guy, Jaden Suggs, comes in, and he's going to take a couple carries, maybe right up the gut.
And they went to the wide side of the field. They've been running a lot in the boundary. They went to the wide side that time with Baylor Kelly. First and 10, ball's at the 15-yard line. 4 minutes to go. Second back through. And a good run and good finish. Down, that's Costa Alexic, and he picked up at least 5. And now you're starting to feel what Joey Montoya talked about. Like, I want to see my team come in with a little bit of a chip on its shoulder attitude. That run had a chip on its shoulder.
That was about the best 4-yard run I've seen all night, and that was because the Costa went in and he got hit, and he kept going and got everything he could out of that run and puts the Hillman now. They've had a couple of times recently that they've got the ball on the other side of the 50, and they haven't been able to come up with points. Let's see.
Break the huddle, turn. This time they give it to Suggs. No, that's Alexic. And he carries it down. He's going to be close to first down yardage. Let's see what the call is. And ref is calling things back. I don't see a penalty flag. It looks like they're spotting it at about the 5.
Maybe a measurement.
Well, there is a penalty flag on the far sideline. Let's see what the call is. It'll be against another false start against the Hillman, which negates what would have been a first down run inside the 10.
Unofficially, 6 false start that negated their 4th first down. So, part of that is the way you do business. Obviously, we've talked about it many times. But what is encouraging is the way that your guys are running the ball now, because Alexic with a tremendous run right there and running over a couple of guys, and it's great to see that because, as we said, this guy came up last year during the mid part of the season and just was just a shining star for the Hillman in the backfield.
3:45 to go, third quarter, 21-21. Casa got the ball first, did not do anything with it, punted it away. This is Placer's opportunity. They've got the ball at the 12. I'm sorry, the ball is spotted just outside the 16-yard line. Craycraft back to pass, under pressure. He ducks away, breaks away from the pressure, but he's going to go down behind the line of scrimmage. Went down kind of awkwardly, too, and he does back up, but he lost 2 yards, so now we're going to have a third and probably about 12.
Yeah, it's a tough part of the field to throw, and there's not a lot of room, Scott, for the Hillman receivers to move around in, and Josh was trying to pick one of them out. Couldn't find it instantly, so he thought he'd bring the ball down and take up the middle of the field, but too many Rams in the way, and big play obviously right here.
Ball is spotted at the 18-yard line, close to the right hash. Game is tied up at 21. 2 lines are stacked up. Craycraft drops back to pass. He's looking for the screen. He throws it. It is picked off by a defensive lineman. No flag on the play, and that is number 80, Garrett Cavalli, and that is the second interception of the night by Craycraft, and it looked like Cavalli got mixed up with Isaiah Hanley. No flag on the play. Regardless, there's a red zone opportunity spoiled for the Hillman.
Yeah, and the third time in a row that they've gotten the ball into Casa territory, and a turnover has cost them. And obviously, you're looking at points down there. At the worst, you're going to get Ramirez field goal try, and he tried to throw. Maybe it was some sort of a screen, but there was just, as you say, Cavalli in the way, in the middle of that screen, and the ball went right to him.
3 turnovers, all on the Casa side of the field so far tonight. This game's tied up at 21. That's something that's going to come up definitely when they watch this film tomorrow. Regardless, as Casa Grande takes it over, they're on the right hash. Ball is set at the 46-yard line. Their quarterback, Campbell, operates from the shotgun. He turns. Flag is down again, and Josh Taylor had a big run, but that's going to be negated. And more yellow than in the second half for sure than the first.
Yeah, as we said, probably some of it due to fatigue, but a lot of false starts here as guys are just trying, as you say, they want to make the big play. They know what's going to happen, and they want to get there first.
Both these offenses are so tempo-driven, too, that they want to get up on the ball and hit you quick because their fronts are good on both sides of the ball. But these offside penalties have really been killers for both sides.
And now both teams, I think, are in a situation where, as we mentioned, they're both fatigued. They're trying to make plays, and now you're going to look at the big players from each side. You're going to look at a Cole Owens and a Taylor for Katzer. You're going to look at Esty and Bray, etc. And a Kelly, Alexic for the Hillman, and see who can make those big plays, because that's what this game is coming down to.
Casa graduated 26 seniors off last year's semifinal team. They have 7 seniors on this team, and here they are. 1st and 15. Ball is at their own 41-yard line.
225.
2:25 to play. 1st and 15. Ball's at the 41-yard line, right hash. Casa going left to right on your radio dial. This time Campbell, little skinny rollout, throws, and he just throws it away. He was looking at Elijah Huddle, and a late flag comes down again, and we got a helmet off, and that's number 4, Landon Fowler, with his helmet off.
Well, the helmet off the Casa player, but I think the penalty they think is going to be on the Hillman for perhaps ripping the helmet off, or how it got off, because as soon as he turned around and looked at the ref, the flag was in the air, and they were celebrating.
That's Daniel Renner, number 4, did not have his helmet on. So let's see what the penalty is here. So 2:18 to go.
There, huh?
Yeah. Well, it's definitely going to be against the Hillman because they're starting to mosh up. Looks like a personal foul call. And that will move the ball all the way down to about the 45-yard line. So now Casa has the ball inside Placer territory. 2:18 to play here in the third quarter. And there's been some very, very tough personal foul calls that have taken some opportunities away from the Hillman. This time Campbell turns, gives it again. Quick hitter to Josh Taylor. Taylor takes it all the way down to about the 36. That'll be another first down. 2 minutes to play.
Yeah, the disappointing part, Scott, is that the Hillman defense are making a lot of great plays, a lot of big plays in this game, and forcing a lot of interceptions, and they're not getting the benefits of it because of mistakes either that they're making in the penalty game, or at least the offense is giving the ball back. So the defense actually, I don't think they're getting the benefit of all the good plays they're making.
Ball is on the left hash, 39-yard line. This time they turn, give it again to Taylor, and Taylor is motoring his way all the way down to the 32. No flags on the play. Just making note of that.
Yeah.
Ball's at the 32. Under 2 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Campbell turned and gave it to Josh Taylor, and Mitchell Trenka made the play, but the Placer defense has got their back up against it here. Can they make the stop? Can they force the penalty? Can they force the turnover?
And Casa, the opportunist, has taken advantage of what the Hillman have been giving them.
This time again, another heavy dose. The ball is loose, and they gave it to Josh Taylor. Fumble on the play, and it does look like the Hillman fell on it, and they did. They got the turnover they needed. Phenomenal defensive play First and 10, Placer Hillman going the other way, and they have thwarted the drive of Casa. Huge defensive play.
Still time for a flag. Nope, I think it's okay. I think we've gone through the 20-second rule. There have been no flag, and so I think that you're right. The Hillmen are going to take over. That was obviously a huge play. The Rams have not been turning the ball over, and a good play by Hillman defense, again, making another great play, and let's see if the offense can reward him for it.
They went with Josh Taylor 4 plays in a row, and they stripped him. I don't think the handoff was clean. He didn't look like he had it. Regardless, it's first and 10, Placer Hillman. 1 minute, 9 seconds to go here in the third quarter. This game is tied 21-21. No points so far here in the second half. They turn, give it to the second back through. That's Alexic. Costa Alexic picks up about 4.
And let's see what team can kind of settle down. I think that's really what's needed here. Talked about fatigue. What team can settle down? You'd think it would be the veteran team, the team with the more seniors. You think it would be the Hillmen, but let's see. Remember, they're being run by a junior. They've got a sophomore running back. They've got a junior running back. So they're still relatively young at those skill positions. So let's see if they can maintain right here.
Ball's at the 34, 2nd and 6. A quick hitter outside to Hanley. Hanley has the edge. Good block downfield. And it looks like he is close to first down yardage. They are going to move the chains first down, and a good quick hitter right to just a quick one out of the motion. Hanley, and he picks up the first down.
Yeah, I love the way they got Hanley the ball out in space and got it to him quick. Those quick passes. What Craig Haft is throwing better tonight. Again, first varsity start. That's not surprising, but he's getting the ball to his playmakers.
First and 10, 20 seconds to go. This time they turn, give it up inside. That is Baylor Kelly. Kelly looks like he might have got 1 or 2. That might have been the last play of the third quarter. And we might be, and it is, it'll be the end of the third quarter. So, Phantom, we went into halftime 21-21, and we're going to go into the fourth quarter 21-21. And a year ago, this was a 1-point game after 3. This is not a whole lot different.
Yeah, except for I don't know that we had 107 penalties in the third quarter last year.
That's unofficial, right?
Yeah, that's unofficial number. That's just what I remember.
It's at least what I saw. I'm throwing all my handkerchiefs out when I get home.
That's
I just want you to know that they're all
good
going,
idea.
whatever color they are.
That's okay. False start again.
We're going to go ahead and take a break here before we get things set for the fourth quarter. 21-21, Placer against Casa Robles. You're listening to Placer Football on 104.5 FM and 950 AM. This is Placer Football.
Suggs drives his way for 6 yards. Correction. 3 yards.
He does the same thing every
Let's go, Hillman!
We have 3rd down and 4.
This is your home for Friday Night Football in the Foothills, 104.5 FM and AM 950 KAHI.
11 minutes and 20 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. Turn, give it to Suggs again, and he is just running with energy. Takes it all the way down into Casa territory, and this game's getting chippy and physical, but first down, Placer.
Yeah, Suggs comes through up the middle. That's a 3rd and 6 is kind of a lot of yards to be giving it to Suggs. The way he's been running it tonight, he's been getting at 1, 2, 3 yards, but he ran very loose right there, right through the middle of the field.
And the 1st and 10 pass is incomplete.
Pass batted down the line of scrimmage.
Ball was batted down, and that's where Craycraft, a little bit undersized as a quarterback, if he's trying to go over the middle or out to the side. They've got a big defensive front of Casa, and that ball is knocked down.
Yeah, he didn't move to either side. He was going straight back in the pocket, and it looked like that he really couldn't see exactly where he was throwing that ball.
Also want to thank Mel's Diner.
Oh, Mel's Diner.
You want to stop at Mel's?
I'm going to
We'll
stop after the game,
yeah,
yes.
I want to stop there. Break from the huddle. This time they turn second back through. It looks like it's Baylor Kelly. Baylor Kelly has a good cut back, and he's in the open field. He's down to the 15, the 10, the 5.
Touchdown.
And we've got a touchdown. I do not see any flags on the field. And with 10:59 to go, Baylor Kelly, second man through. Joey Montoya, a great play call. And it is 27-21. Baylor Kelly takes it. A huge run. And Placer has moved out ahead, 27-21, pending the extra point.
Yeah, good job on the offensive line for giving them the time to do that, but that was a lot of Baylor Kelly on that one. He made a couple of moves around the line of scrimmage, and then he was off to the races. Huge play, obviously, for the Hillman. Now they put it back on their defense.
Just a sophomore. We'll have him for a couple more years. A heck of a run there. Great scheme, great cutback. And the Hillmen go up 27-21. Here's Ramirez with the extra point. Snap, ball is down, kick is up. And it isn't pretty, but it gets through, and it is 28-21. And Placer with 10 minutes and 59 seconds to go in the fourth quarter of the home opener of the 2022 season has withstood a punch and punched back.
They got a bunch of punches and punched back a bunch of times, but the Rams knocked that first down pass down, and you had to feel like they felt pretty good about themselves on 2nd and 10 there. But as we mentioned, the Hillman line kept the defensive line out of the backfield. They had a couple of times to do that second handoff, and then it's all Baylor Kelly all the way down the field.
You get the sense those quick-hitting passes have moved the Casa defense back a little bit. They can't just sit on that zone in the middle. And Kelly takes it all the way to the house.
Absolutely. Remember, though, earlier in the game where he hit Maxwell on the seam one time, and that's the kind of play that I think was really important for the Hillmen to spread the field a little bit more than they had been.
Jackson Ramirez will be kicking off. This kickoff is brought to you by Auburn Trophies. Auburn Trophies online at auburntrophies.com.
auburntrophies.com.
I bet Mel's Diners goes to Auburn Trophies, too.
I just take my trophy to Mel's Diners. What the heck?
Hard squib trying to keep it away from Owens, and the ball rolls out of bounds. A bit of a mistake means the ball will be spotted at the 35, but regardless, it keeps it out of Cole Owens' hands. They went with the hard squib that time.
Yeah, if that would have stayed on the field of play, that would have been an excellent kick. Unfortunately, it just got out, and Owens wanted to pick it up, but it's just one of those like it was going to go foul, and you let it roll foul on the third base line, and you just go, well, it's going foul, I'll just let it go, and that's what happened.
So 10:59 to go. Placer Hillman, their home opener this year against Casa Roble, the Rams, they lead it 28-21. Can their defense answer again? This is the fourth time tonight that they've actually had a 7-point lead. Every time they've been in the lead, Casa has responded.
Yeah, but as we talked about, the Hillman defense have really come up with a lot of good plays tonight. Penalties have erased some of them, obviously, and they've given up a couple of big plays, but overall I think they played a pretty good game.
Points off of turnovers there, too. Yep. Fumble turns into a touchdown. This time they give it to Josh Taylor. Taylor's met in the backfield, but as you point out, Phantom, he carries people about 3 yards, so that's an aggressive 3-4 yard run. He was hitting the backfield, still picks up 3 yards.
Yeah, he makes the best 3 yard runs I've seen in a while, but if you hold him to 3, you feel like you've really done a good job because it takes at least 2 of you to do it.
2nd down and 7.
Dominic Laidlaw, number 10, number 50, Mason Yoakum on the stop. 2 receivers set right. This time Campbell turns, gives it again to Taylor. Taylor breaks a couple more tackles, secures the ball, takes it out to about the 48-yard line. That'll be a first down for Casa. 10:24 to go here, fourth quarter.
You feel like almost Taylor popped the ball up last time, and you feel almost like his teammates are going, that's okay, Josh, here I'm going to give it to you a couple more times. You just go do what you do, and 2 carries, he's got himself a first down.
The last 6 offensive plays, he's got the ball.
Yeah, it's all about him, but that's why they're so dangerous, because Owens is still out there, and if you're thinking too much Taylor, then you've got guys on the outside that can really hurt you.
Elijah Huddle is set to the near side here. Ball's right in the middle of the field, 47-yard line, 1st and 10. Motion man is Logan March. This time back to pass. They go quick. Jets screen to the backside. That is to Huddle. Huddle's got it. Breaks the tackle. And he's going to go all the way down the sidelines. I do not see a flag. And guess what, Phantom?
Yep.
Placer went up. Casa answered.
Absolutely did, and that looked eerily like the last time they did that screen to Cole Owens. When he got the ball, there were several Placer defenders around him, but they just couldn't get out of their own way, and they couldn't get in front of the receiver. As you mentioned, Hurdle just took it down the field easily.
Quick pass out to the left side, wide receiver screen. They went away from Owens to Huddle. Huddle catches it, eludes the first tackler, takes it down for the touchdown, and pending the extra point here from Kevin Curry, we could be knotted up again.
Hillman work hard for their 7, and all of a sudden here come the Rams coming back on 7 just a couple of plays in.
There's the snap. Ball is down. Kick is up, and it is good. 9:54 to go here. Placer High School, and this ball game is all knotted up at 28. And really an impressive answer on the side of Casa. As you mentioned, the Hillman forced the turnover, get the touchdown, kick it, get the squib kick, and a couple plays later on the wide receiver screen, Casa Roble answers.
Well, I think this is the kind of game that we all thought we were going to get. Now, the third quarter, we took a kind of a detour to Penalty Island, but we've come back and both teams have done what they've shown to do. And again, I know it's just a short dump-off pass, but give credit to the sophomore quarterback, Connor Campbell, who is making the right plays out there for the most part and bringing his team back 28-28, and it's going to be a case probably now of who's going to have the ball last or who cannot turn it over.
One interesting thing, too, is both teams have all 3 timeouts here in the fourth quarter. By this point in the first half, Placer had none of their timeouts left. So the timeouts and the time of possession is going to be very interesting here.
Right, and we'll have to see if the Hillman can go ahead and continue what they were doing last time they had the ball and not and avoid those false start penalties.
Kevin Curry to kick off. This kickoff, again, is brought to you by Auburn Trophies. Online at auburntrophies.com. Back deep to return, Isaiah Hanley. Curry's kick is a short one. Will be fielded at about the 15-yard line. And a pretty good return. And breaking out to left, that's Baylor Kelly. And it's Baylor Kelly against Curry, one-on-one. And Baylor Kelly outran him. He took it all the way to the house, unofficially an 85-yard touchdown run. And just like that, the special teams play, the Placer Hillman. And we've got a penalty flag down around the 40, and I think this one's coming back.
Right about the place that Kelly broke free, so maybe somebody pushed somebody in the back right around that part at the 40-yard line.
I don't want to go to Penalty Island.
Well, we were at Penalty Island, and I thought we had put that behind us, and in the fourth quarter we were going to avoid Penalty Island, but it looks like we're right back there.
So negating what would have been an 85-yard touchdown return, putting Placer up. Instead, let's see what the call is. Probably a block in the back or a hold.
Yeah, and you've got a situation where the fans are getting mad at the referees, but you know something? Both teams have had big plays taken away from them in this game. And again, it's easy to blame referees, but it is the first game of the season. There are going to be a lot of mistakes made out there, and Kelly with a great run. That's the sad part, is we've had a couple of great individual plays, the pick six and now the touchdown run that have been erased by penalty.
Both these teams are very athletic too, and in order to make a play, you got to have a good strategic block, and that's what's happening. You know, these people are fighting off blocks and things. Ball spotted now at it looks like it's going to be marched back looks like the penalty took place on the 40.
Yeah.
And they're going to walk it back to about the 30-yard line as the line judge puts it down right on the 30-yard line. So Placer will start off, 9:41 to go, tie ball game, 28-28, 9:41 to play here in the fourth quarter. Ball spotted on the left hash.
And this is one of those games that, you could easily win, you could easily lose, and I think with the Hillman attitude, they want to really grab this game.
Hanley in motion, but this time it's Craycraft. He's throwing it back up. He throws it up, 50-50 ball, and that ball is caught by Dash Tebbs, and they're going to talk about it and say he's out of bounds. We're going to rule that an incomplete pass. So trying a little something different on first down. Craycraft threw a pretty good 50-50 ball. Tebbs made a nice play, but he caught it out of bounds. Brings up a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and in that case, it should be the referee is right on the sideline. He has the best look at it, so he makes the call right away and said that he's out of bounds. But yeah, a little surprising on the play call, but a pretty well thrown ball by Craycraft.
I liked how the refs conferred with each other to confirm that they got it there. So 2nd and 10, ball's at the 30-yard line, 9:35 to go. Baylor Kelly in motion, takes it, and he is tripped up after a short gain of about 3 yards.
No gain on the play.
Actually, they're going to spot it right at the line of scrimmage, so he might have got a foot or a yard, but it's going to be 3rd and long right here.
It'd be interesting to see what kind of pass route did the Hillman try here. They've done a couple of quick hitters to the outside. They've done one quick hit over the middle. They tried the long pass like we just saw, and Craycraft hasn't had a lot of time for a deep drop back, so let's see what happens.
Craycraft goes straight back. He rolls right. He's under pressure. He gets away from it. He's still under pressure. He tries to throw, and he is finally thrown down on making the play down there. Joe Dexter, Garrett Cavalli take him out, but he dropped back to pass, tried to roll out. He really had no chance on that. They were in on him right away. That brings up a 4th and 10 now with 8:52 to play here in the 4th quarter.
A couple of times on passing plays where he has rolled to his right, the Casa Roble linebacker has made the read right away and knifed through the line. And once he gets pressure on him, that rollout is a really difficult pass to throw because you're moving, you're on the run like that, and you can't really find your receiver. So at that time, he tried to get away a couple of times and almost threw the ball away at the end, but he was out of bounds.
That'll bring up Jackson Ramirez on the punt. Cole Owens is back deep to return. He's standing at about the 35. Ball's on the left hash. 8:52 to play. 28-28. Placer, Casa Robles. Ramirez has it, kicks it. This is a squib kind of along the ground to keep it away from Owens, and so far he's done that, and Owens is going to bounce away. That's a very effective punt. Not pretty in the score sheet, but that's exactly what they wanted to do. A line drive punt all the way down to about the 27.
Yeah, a line drive punt away from Owens that if he's going to get it, he's going to have to pick it up as it's rolling, and you don't want to do that as a punt returner. So a really intelligent punt by the Hillman that pushed him back now to the 27-yard line.
I'd also like to thank our sponsors, Robinson Sand and Gravel, Roseville Auto Mall, Sierra Moon, who helped us with the scoreboard at halftime, the Spring Hill Suites, Auburn Ford, and, of course, Auburn Trophies.
Of course.
Here we are, 8:42 to go, 28-28. Placer and Casa. Casa's got the ball on the left hash. And that time Campbell turned to give it. He went left, and Taylor went right, and that's a defensive good play for Placer. It's going to be a negative play for Casa.
That's when the quarterback just goes, "Go!" and just says, "I'm just going to go ahead and fall down." And that's what happened in that time. And that's a big play, obviously, that puts him in a passing situation, which is no surprise because you knew they were going to have to throw the ball at this point in the game.
It did break the string of giving the ball to Josh Taylor, in the backfield. He tried.
They tried.
Josh, go the way I go.
Yeah, please. No, he's the senior. You're the sophomore. It's always your fault.
Ball's at the 25. Campbell back to pass. Steps up, throws downfield, and this ball is incomplete. It looks like a little bit of miscommunication. He had Eliza Huddle going down the left sidelines. Looks like Eliza broke off the route. Campbell thought he was going deep. Regardless, the ball falls incomplete.
Well, good defensive coverage by the Hillman on that one. He was ahead of Elijah, so he wasn't going to let him make that big catch on him and gets him into a huge 3rd down and 10 now.
Dash Tebbs right there on defense. Nice job. He was in good position. 7:57 to play here in the 4th quarter. The score's tied 28-28. Casa has the ball set at their own 24. Campbell back to pass, steps up in the pocket, rolls to his right. He's rolling, he's looking, he throws, and this one's going to be picked off. He tried to squeeze one over the top of the safety, but it did not happen in a phenomenal defensive play right there, and that is the turnover they've been looking for. And who was it? But we got a penalty flag down here. Let's see.
It's going to be declined. I think it was against the Rams offensive line. It's going to be declined, and it's going to be Hillman ball.
And who else but Isaiah Hanley making the big play. There's a little bit of a force by Connor.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I mean, you can almost look at it like that was a punt because it was going to be fourth down anyway. Maybe you look at it that way. But in the sense of the Hillman defense to feel good about themselves, to come back with the interception, get the turnover, and to give the ball over to their offense with just about 7.5 to go, that's a huge move.
7:47 to go, 28-28. Here come the Placer Hillman. They turn, they give it to the second man through. It's Baylor Kelly. He's got himself a lane. He's gone all the way down the field. Touchdown. I do not see a flag on the field. And we've got some talking behind the play, but regardless, that talking's for naught. Baylor Kelly, touchdown run, and Placer now for the fifth time has pulled themselves ahead, 34-28.
I got to say one thing about the sophomore. You give him a little bit of daylight, and he is gone. That's a couple of times we've seen it. One of the times on the kickoff return, obviously, that was negated, but you give him a little bit of daylight and give credit to the Placer offensive line deep into the fourth quarter, creating holes for their running backs.
Second man through. They faked it to Suggs, gave it to Kelly. Kelly found just a little bit of a gaping hole and took it all the way down to the house. 7:37 to go. Pending the extra point, Placer leads this one 34-28. What a run. Snap in, hold down, and Ramirez hits, and it is no good. He pushed it a little bit to the left, and will that come back to bite him later on? You hope it doesn't, but 7:37 to go here in the fourth quarter, and Phantom 34-28. Placer leads, but definitely uncomfortable a little bit in a close game, missing an extra point.
Yeah, that's a second time that I can recall that the snapback was a little bit low, and I think Ramirez coming through, kind of a timing thing, and he came through, and the ball wasn't quite there where he wanted it to be, and he pushed a little bit over to the left. Yeah, you love the touchdown, but you'd like to have 7 instead of 6.
So Casa Roble will get the ball back. They will drive from your right to left. They've got all 3 timeouts. They can score quickly, as we've seen tonight, so they don't really need to talk about timeout parts here. But really, Placer so far tonight has really had some explosive running plays, and right now leads at 34-28.
Right, and their defense has made some big plays, and they're coming off a big play, that interception of Connor Campbell. So the sophomore is going to come back out here. He's just thrown an interception. His team is behind in the fourth quarter, and let's see how he responds to that.
Both Placer touchdowns coming off Casa Roble turnovers. Big. There's the kick. Kick is brought to you by Auburn Trophies online at auburntrophies.com. That one goes all the way to the end zone, so a touchback. So Casa's going to start on the 20-yard line.
A little bit of anger in that kick, you think, for Jackson Ramirez. So you let that one fly, and Owens took a look at it and went, wait a minute, that's over my head. And it hit on the 2 or 3 yard line and barely went into the end zone, or it would have been a live ball.
So here we go, Phantom. 7:37 to go, fourth quarter. Placer leading 34-28. Home opener. Great crowd on hand. Great football game. Young quarterbacks have made some mistakes, but Placer's taken advantage of both of those turnovers, and that's why they lead right now 34-28. Ball's at the 20. Campbell turns and gives it to Josh Taylor. Taylor breaks a tackle. He's upfield. He's got a first down. He's continuing to take on tacklers. He goes all the way up to about the 33.
And that's Josh Taylor that we've come to know and not so much love tonight as Hillman fans. You basically know what's going to come right now from the Rams. They're going to give the ball to Taylor. They're going to look for Owens. They're going to look for Hurdle. They're going to look to get the ball outside, and you've got to go ahead and put pressure on the young quarterback and hope he makes a mistake.
7 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Ball's on the right hash, 34-yard line. This time Casa comes out. They have 3 receivers set to the wide side, 1 to the short side. They're in the pistol look. Running back right behind him. Campbell goes back to pass. Steps up, fires. He's got a receiver out in the flat. That's completed about the 37. Short gain that time to Evan Combs, number 10. Catch and complete.
Yeah, great job by the Placer defensive backs who were right on that pass from the beginning. One guy missed him but slowed him down. 3 more of his teammates came in behind him to make the stop.
Pick up a 4. Clock is rolling. 6 minutes, 40 seconds to go. 34-28, Placer's up. Second down and 7. Ball is spotted at the 38 on the near side. Casa is going right to left on your radio dial. This time they have 2 receivers set to the right. Wide receiver way out left. They give it to Taylor, the running back. He bounces ahead for about 3 or 4 more yards. He's a hard-hitting runner. They come up in that pistol look, and he picks up about 4 yards, and it'll be 3rd and 2.
Yeah, big 3rd and 2, which is dangerous for the Hillman defense because the Rams can basically do anything now. They can go Taylor back up the middle. They can take a chance and go to the outside because they'll probably, even if they don't make it, they might just go ahead and go for it on 4th down.
Well, with all those timeouts, the clock just runs under 6 minutes. The ball is spotted at the 42. It is 3rd and 2. Pistol look, trying to get Placer to jump. They try the hard count. Nobody moves. Campbell looks to the sidelines, gets the play, takes the snap. It is to Taylor. Taylor breaks to ahead. He's out to the outside, and he's got himself a lane. He's all the way down the sidelines, and he is pushed out of bounds at about the 15, so they needed 2 and picked up a whole lot more than that.
They've been bottling up Taylor a little bit, and that time he finally got a little bit of running room. When he got outside, that was trouble for the Hillman. He got all the way down, looks like the 16-yard line.
Ball will be spotted at the 16.
It looks like that was Daniel Renner, 4. He was actually spelling Taylor on that play as he ran off to the side, so that's on me. So used to calling Taylor's name behind there, but that was with their defensive captain, Dylan Renner, with the big play. So now they've got the ball 1st and 10 down at the 16. Costa's got the ball on the right hash. A little bit of motion. They turn. This time they give it to Taylor. Taylor breaks the tackle, and he's upended, and he's thrown down. Placer players flex, but hey, they've got to make a big stop here as there's about 5 minutes to go in this game, and they lead it 34-28.
Yeah, they held him to a couple of yards, but still have the ball on about the 12 or 13-yard line. And remember that missed extra point looming really large right now.
Casa content to let the clock run a little bit longer. Got the ball close to the right hash, going right to left in that skinny sugar huddle. They send in the play. 2 receivers set left, 2 receivers to the right. Pistol look. Taylor right behind the quarterback, Campbell. Campbell takes the snap, gives it to Taylor. Taylor breaks up inside. He's got a 1st down and a whole lot more. He's down to the 1-yard line. 1st and goal for Casa.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see the Rams do what you said and go ahead and run the clock down as much as they can and try to take all the life off the clock before Placer gets the ball back.
Last time they had the ball inside the 10, they went to that tight T look. I'll be interested to see if they go to that look again. Just try to pound it in. Just about 4 minutes to go. It's 1st and goal on the 1. They trail 34-28. But the clock is their friend right now. They want to run as much time as they can. The good news for Placer is they've got all 3 timeouts.
Exactly. Now, obviously the ball on the 2-yard line, if they do as you suggested, go ahead with that full house backfield, which it does look like they're going to do. Just expect that ball to go right back up the middle. Last time or earlier in the game, remember, it was Campbell himself that took it in.
They gave it to Taylor. He's in. Touchdown.
Touchdown, Rams.
So 34-34. Here's the extra point by Curry. Snap is down, kick is up, and it is good. So with 3:50 to go in the 4th quarter, for the first time tonight, Casa Roble has taken the lead, 35-34.
And after all the penalties and missed plays and everything, great plays, it comes down to an extra point, which one team didn't make and the other team did. Placer will have a chance, obviously, as you say, 3 minutes, 50 seconds, all their timeouts, missing Xander Esty on the offensive line, but someone else has to step up and go out there and do that job for them. And we'll see with Josh Craycraft, your first game, you're put into a very difficult situation against a very high-caliber opponent. And let's see, it's kind of like put up or shut up time for the entire Hillman offense.
The Hillman's motto after every huddle when they break at practice, Phantom, is every day, every way, get a little better.
Okay.
Well, they're going to have to get a little better right here, right now. They're going to have to answer the bell with 3:50 to go. Kickoff will come by Curry. The ball is at the 40, which leads me to think it wasn't offsetting penalties, but there was the ejection. We don't know any more details than that. Curry will kick off from the 40. As always, this kickoff is brought to you by Auburn Trophies online at auburntrophies.com. We want to thank all of our sponsors. It's been a heck of an opening night game. It's 35-34 in favor of Casa. There's a squib kick along the ground. fielded at the 30, and he immediately goes down. So I think that was Tebbs. Yeah, Dash Tebbs actually caught the ball. He was one of the up men, and he went right down. Smart play, preserved some time.
You got to think that's a planned kind of thing if you're going to field it there. But as you say, we got to. This has been a fantastic game. I mean, it's got all kinds of everything in it, but it's been a fantastic game between two teams who should do very well this year and are going to grow. This is going to be, when you get to week 4 and 5, you're going to look back on week 1 and find out what you learned from week 1.
Ball's on the right hash. They turn, they give it to the motion man, and this play is being ruled dead. I think a timeout was taken by Casa, and that was a smart timeout because Baylor Kelly had himself an angle around the side, and Joey is not happy with the late timeout. Lefebvre Stadium is the setting. Great crowd on hand. Casa Roble leading Placer 35-34, 3:45 to go. Ball is spotted at the 31-yard line of Placer, their own 31, on the right hash. They break the huddle in their wing T look. Craycraft sends them back in motion. They go right to the play they had before, and it's Baylor Kelly again, and a good 8 yards. They run the stretch speed play right into the boundary, and they pick up about 10 yards. They do get the first down, 1st and 10.
Yeah, you have to think maybe, Scott, that if the Hillmen are going to pass and it's not a 3rd down and 12 situation, it's going to be a pass off a play action and kind of a misdirection kind of thing because they're going to go with what they've got.
This time they turn, they give it to Tebbs up the middle, and Tebbs breaks 1 tackle, 2 tackles, 3 tackles, and actually takes it all the way out right around midfield for a pickup of about 7 yards. Good run by Jaden Suggs, who's largely been bottled up tonight, but does have a couple of touchdown runs.
He's kind of been he's kind of sacrificing himself. He's the one going up the middle and getting all the hits and opening up the outside for his teammates, and that was an excellent run.
No receiver wide. This time they fake it to both, and sure enough, they throw it deep, and it's Alexic down at big play action play to Costa Alexic, and he's caught it at the 25-yard line. That time they faked the double. They faked it first to Suggs, then they faked it to Kelly behind him, and Costa Alexic was right down the middle of the field. First down.
Give credit to Craycraft, obviously, for a very cool pass under pressure, but give credit to Suggs, too, who really carried out his fake very well and had us faked out up here.
This time they hand it to Kelly on the outside play. He breaks the tackle. The ball's on the ground, but he recovers it, I think. If not, the ball's going to be spotted down at about the 11-yard line. They have really liked that play. Ball spotted on the right hash. They put Kelly in motion, hand it to him, and they have a 1st and 10 now at the 11-yard line. 2:43 to play, and Casa is down 35. Casa, is head 35-34 over Placer.
Yeah, another great run by Kelly, set up by Suggs, working on the middle, letting Kelly get to the outside.
This time they go to Suggs, and he's just carrying people with him. Suggs a good 6 yards right there.
Excuse me, you have to wonder if Placer has enough confidence, and I know they just missed an extra point. Did they want to just suck all the time off the clock and kick something, or try to obviously score right down the end of the game here, but do they have enough confidence to go ahead and take all the air out of the clock and just kick the ball and try to win on a field goal?
And when will Casa use their 2 timeouts that they have left, as now the clock winds down below 2 minutes? 2nd down and 5. 2nd and 4, The ball's given up inside again. It looked like they went it to Suggs. And Costa Alexic, and he did not really get anything, and a timeout as Chris Horner ran all the way down the field to call the timeout, realizing what you were saying, that Placer was probably just trying to run the clock down.
Now, I don't know if, you don't see many high school teams try to go ahead and play for the field goal, but in this case, it's almost an extra point right now, and if you can keep the ball into the last, 20, 30 seconds of the game and kick it, obviously that's what you would like to do. If you can punch it through, but you do have Ramirez, and as we mentioned, missed that extra point and then came out and kicked the next kickoff into the end zone, so he's feeling it, and that's that Hillman we've talked about, a chip on their shoulder, the way last season went, the way it went on the field, then off the field, and that would be kind of par for the course. It's kind of like the script is written to come out here and miss the extra point and then win it with a field goal, if that's the way they're going to go about it.
I think Joey Montoya looks at his play sheet and says, what is the best play I have, because I want to get a touchdown here.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because in high school, you know, the clock stops with first downs. They have timeouts. They can score quickly. If they can get a touchdown here, they really put Costa's backs up against the wall.
And not to get too far out ahead of us, but if they do score a touchdown, they probably will be going for 2 to try to get that back to that 7-point cushion.
One 141 to play. Ball is on the 5-yard line, right in the middle of the field. And they can get a first down. In addition, the ball's at the 6-yard line, They can get a first down and still get goal to go. So the chains are still set there.
Right.
So they break the huddle quickly. Craycraft turns, gives it to Suggs. Suggs is moving, and we got a bit of a scrum going on there, and they're going to mark him short of the first down by about 2 yards. They were fortunate not to get an illegal shift right there on that.
Yeah, I saw the movement right away before the snap, and I thought that we were going to get another one of our motion penalties that we've had a half dozen of already.
Well, they gave Suggs just 2 yards, so here it is, Phantom. 1:26 to go in the game. The ball is on the 4-yard line. 35-34, Casa leads. And it looks like they will try the field goal to try to go ahead by 2 with 1:26 to play. Placer trailing Casa 35-34.
Like you said, they can still get the first down, but it's a 3 yards and it's 3 tough yards. And do you want to take that chance? Because it's not a tie game. You're behind. So you've got to go ahead and say, what's my best chance right here? And it is the ball looks to be pretty much in the middle of the field, so a good situation to set up for the field goal. But we'll see what they call.
The only thing that comes into play here is they have 3 timeouts, and if they do go for it and don't get it, they pin them deep. But still, you got to think this is a field goal. No, they're in a huddle right now.
They're in the huddle right now, absolutely.
Maybe they're going to try to get Casa to jump, try to pick up that first down and run the clock out. And Coach Montoya is going to take a timeout to talk a little bit more about it.
Yeah, maybe he was trying to see the look that Casa would give him, but I don't think it would be any different than the Rams have been showing him all game in these kind of situations. And again, it's 3 yards to get a first down, 4 yards to get a touchdown, and they trail by 1, so they're going to go ahead and take that timeout.
And they did change their mind. They're going to be going for a field goal now. They changed their personnel, had the discussion.
Yeah, it's just that extra yard or 2, I mean, as far as, you think you can get it. I mean, that's what your whole offense is predicated on, you getting 3 yards when you need it. But the Rams have shown a tendency, they've got some penetration on some of those inside handoffs, and you don't want to take a chance of making that mistake.
Carlos Mendoza, the defensive coordinator for Casa, they have 5 returning starters. They've done a nice job of getting penetration with the backfield. You don't want to run the risk that happens and blows up a play, and then before you know it, there's only 1:26 to play in the game. So you got a kicker with a strong leg who's a returning player for you, who, if he can make this, will put you up by 2.
Yeah, and the thing to look for is, like we've said, the snap the last couple of times has been low, and so the hold hasn't been accurate. So let's see what happens on this one.
Let's see if Coach Horner calls a last-second timeout here, too.
You might want to hold it for him.
Snap is back, good hold, kick is down, it is good! And the Placer-Hillman go up 37-35 with 1:23 to play. What a football game.
Incredible football game, but as you mentioned, the Casa Roble can strike quickly as well. They have, it looks like just 1 timeout left now, right?
They took 2 timeouts down here, one to stop the clock and another one would reset their defense. So they have 1 timeout. Good thing, as you mentioned, high school football, if you get a first down, the clock stops when you get there to reset the chain.
Right.
So, and they've got some good athletes. They've scored on some big plays. Let's see what they can do.
Yeah, I think that the Hillman made exactly the right call. They did what they needed to do. They got the shot. They got the critical field goal. I mean, I know it's not a long one, but that's a very clutch situation for Ramirez to come out when the last one he tried, he didn't make, and the one that he did make before that was kind of a shaky one off a tough snap.
Good snap, good hold, good kick.
Everything was right. Good decision. And now you got to get to read another Auburn trophy. So
Jackson Ramirez and Auburn Trophy, we're back together again. I might go over there tonight. This kick is brought to you by Auburn Trophies at auburntrophies.com. This kick is deep, and it is kicked to Cole Owens, and he takes it up to about the 31-yard line. So here we go. 1:14 to go, Phantom.
Yep, 69 yards, 74 seconds.
Placer 37, Casa Roble 35. When I took this, I didn't know you didn't tell me the games would be like this. This is incredible.
Well, these games are all like this. That's all we did last year is have games like this. But this one, come out on the other side of this game. That's the key. Is the difference you? It could be.
Eric Rodardi, defensive coordinator for Placer. Campbell takes the snap. Quick throw out. Throws it a little bit high out of the range of Cole Owens. He had a receiver open. Owens went up with one hand. I don't think he wanted to take a hit there, but no time really off the clock. That'll bring up a 2nd and 10. Ball's on the 31-yard line. Yeah,
that time the Placer defensive back was giving Owens about a 5-yard cushion. He wasn't going to get behind him. He was going to try to wait. Now it was going to be a tough catch. He had to leave his feet to make that catch, so the closing speed would have been quick.
Connor Campbell, the junior, has grown up right in front of us here. Stands are up on both sides. Ball is on the left hash. 2 receivers set to each side. Campbell goes back. He's looking left. He's under pressure, and he goes down. Huge defensive play. And Coach Horner might have to burn his last time out. He has not done that yet. And they're signaling in their play as clock is running down. Good coverage deep, forcing the sack there. So 3rd and 12, 45 seconds to go. 3 receivers set right. Campbell throws. Wide receiver screen. Cole Owens. He's got it, breaks it up, and he's got a first down or close to it. Looks like they're going to move the chains. 35 seconds to go.
He went to the Old Faithful there with the wide receiver screen to Owens.
This time Campbell just spikes it quickly. The ball is up at the 41-yard line. 33 seconds to go.
Interesting play there. Go ahead and give up that down to stop the clock. We saw the wide receiver screen by Owens. He came in there, and they start the clock after the chains are set, and immediately Campbell spikes the ball. And now it is a 2nd down. Down's not making that much difference, but if they come in a situation where they need a first down to keep the drive going, it might come in handy.
You basically have Canadian football now. You got 10 yards in 3 plays. You know, that's what you do. But you want to preserve, I think, the timeout because that keeps the middle of the field open for them. So 37-35. Placer leads. 33 seconds to go. Ball is at the 42-yard line. 2 receivers set back. Owens goes in motion. They throw it deep, and this ball is picked off. Unbelievable. I'm looking to see if there are any flags, and there are not. 25 seconds to go. They sent a motion man left. Campbell went back and threw the ball, trying to hit Cole Owens. He overthrew him. And guess who? Isaiah Hanley.
What a game he's played.
Great second half he's played.
And you mentioned the guy in motion. I think the play was all set to come back to Owens, and Campbell really didn't even look at the coverage. He just let the ball go up in the air, and Hanley has been playing some pretty good center field on some of those plays today and went up and made a great catch, and it's take a knee time and get out of here with a huge win over a high-caliber opponent.
So last season was the first time and the only time Joey Montoya started off with 5 losses in a row. Said he had a chip on his shoulder. Playing against one of the better teams in the section tonight in a fantastic football game. And they are in victory formation with 25 seconds to go. Placer takes the 1 snap. Casa will not use their last timeout. And ladies and gentlemen, your Placer Hillmen are going to start the 2022 campaign with a 37-35 victory over the visiting Casa Roble Rams, and one heck of a football game, and the deciding factor was a short field goal by Jackson Ramirez, who missed an extra point his last time out.
Absolutely, and give the Placer coaching staff a lot of credit for coming up with the right call there, and give the Placer offense a lot of credit. Remember, Xander Esty was ejected from the game. He wasn't around during that last drive, and they went down and they marched the ball down, made some great plays, and eventually got it down and got the field goal to win it. The Placer defense came up with big plays all night long. The offense came up with the drive when they needed it. It's a great start, Scott, because you win the game, but there's so many teachable moments out there that now the kids won't care when you yell them about it because they won the game, and so it's easier to teach them coming off a win. A tremendous game, as we saw last year, the same thing. Casa, a great ball club. As you mentioned, Connor Campbell, the sophomore, making some throws late. This is going to only benefit him and benefit them going down for the rest of the season. But hats off to the Hillmen. They came up with a huge win, a lot of stuff going against them, and they came back and made the plays when they needed them, and that's a championship team right there.
37-35. Placer has beat Casa Roble. We're going to go ahead and take a break. We'll be back with the post-game show as Placer, the Hillmen, open the season 1-0 in a phenomenal, exciting fashion, beating Casa Roble, coming from behind, down 35-34. You're listening to Placer football on 104.5 FM, AM 950. This is the voice of the Foothills, and this is Placer football. We'll wrap things up here as Placer starts off the season. The Hillmen beat Casa 37-35. You're listening to football on 104.5 FM, 950 AM. This is Placer football.
My name is Isaiah Hanley, and I play running back and corner. And it's good to be back on the football field and having fun.
Yeah.
For sure.
Prospects for this year? Feeling good?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Feeling super good.
Anything else? Favorite thing about football?
Just can't wait for the season to keep going. Can't wait to see what this season holds for our team because we have a great team ahead of us.
Thanks, Isaiah. Great job today.
Thank you.
Pitch is made to number 11, Baylor Kelly.
Running big down the sidelines all the way out past midfield as Baylor Kelly came up in their wing T set.
Going to be a big game for the Hillmen. That's a great way to get started.
Two of the top teams in the section, two top 20s, 1st and 10. Play action. Craycraft throws. He's got a receiver wide open. Fantastic catch.
Craycraft's pass is complete downfield to Isaiah Hanley inside the 5-yard line. 1st and goal, Hillmen.
That's a highlight catch as a web gem, as they say.
Turn, and there's a touchdown right there, and that is Jaden Suggs.
Touchdown, Hillmen. Jaden Suggs with the inside handoff goes untouched into the end zone.
Got 3 receivers set to left, 1 receiver on the right. Under pressure, under duress, and it's going to be a sack. Placer.
Colin Bray, number 60, with the sack.
3rd and 1, and now becomes 4th and 13. Great job by Placer. Defense in front of getting pressure and getting in on the quarterback. They're going to go to the air.
Craycraft.
This time, Craycraft throws. He's got a receiver.
Let's go with it.
Wide
Catch is
open.
made in the open field by number 3.
He caught it on a crossing route.
Josh
It
Maxwell.
goes all the way down to the 34-yard line, and that is the big tight end, Josh Maxwell. So they break the huddle, they turn, they give on the counter play. Huge hole.
Craycraft handoff,
Big
outside run.
run.
Costa Alexic shakes and bakes through traffic, about 15-yard pickup. 1st down, Hillmen.
3rd and 12, 29-yard line. Junior quarterback Josh Craycraft.
Coach's number's called again.
Turns this time.
Scampers
gives
down the
it-
sidelines.
It's got an edge.
Inside the 10-yard line. It's going to set up a 1st and goal for the Hillman. Hillman inside the 10-yard line.
Great play call by Joey Montoya. Everybody expecting a pass. He goes to the ground. This time they go double reverse. They hand it into Baylor Kelly. Baylor Kelly walks
Ball
in.
ends up in the hands of
Touchdown,
number 11,
Placer.
Baylor Kelly. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Hillman.
You really have to pay attention to where the ball is.
really do.
The ball fakes are excellent. 3 receivers set right. Ball on the left pass. Campbell drops back to pass. They're setting up a screen. He throws it. It is intercepted. The
Rams pass is intercepted by Nick Horn.
Back the other direction.
Pick 6.
We got a pick 6, folks.
Interception results in a touchdown. Big defensive play for the Hillman.
Refs seem to be waving something off. There is a penalty flag on the play. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Sets up in the pocket. He throws. Guess who he's going to? That's Cole Owen. And an outstanding defensive play down the left sideline.
Deep pass downfield is broken up by number 2, Dash Tebbs. Great coverage.
Great job by the Hillman on defense.
Straight from the huddle. This time they turn second back through. It looks like it's Baylor Kelly. Baylor Kelly has a good cutback, and he's in the open field. He's down to the 15, the 10, the 5.
Baylor Kelly on the run.
And we've got a
He's
touchdown.
into the end zone.
I do not see any flags on
Touchdown,
the field.
Hillman.
And with 10:59 to go, Baylor Kelly, second man through. Joey Montoya, a great play call.
Looked like a broken play for the Rams. Hillman sniff it out. Post to Hillman there to bring down the quarterback for a sack.
The score's tied 28-28. Casa has the ball set at their own 24. Campbell back to pass, steps up in the pocket, rolls to his right.
Rams quarterback
He's rolling, he's
right,
rolling,
trying to
he's
make
looking,
something
he
happen.
throws.
Ball
And
downfield.
this one's going to be
Hillman goes
picked
up for
off.
intercepted. Intercepted
He
by
tried to
number
squeeze one
5.
over the top of the
Isaiah
safety,
Hanley.
but it did not happen in a phenomenal defensive play right there. And that is the turnover they've been looking for. Here come the Placer Hillman. They turn, they give it to the second man through. It's Baylor Kelly. He's got
Inside
himself
handoff.
a
Offensive line
lane.
does their job.
He's gone.
Baylor Kelly sprints down the open field.
All the way down the
Untouched
field.
into the end zone. Touchdown, Hillman.
Placer now for the 5th time has pulled themselves ahead, 34-28.
I got to say one thing about the sophomore. You give him a little bit of daylight, and he is gone.
So now they've got the ball 1st and 10 down at the 16. Taylor breaks the tackle and he's upended. He's thrown down.
Sniffed out by Josh Maxwell.
And this is one of those games that, you could easily win, you could easily lose. And I think with the Hillman attitude, they want to really grab this game.
Hanley in motion, but this time it's Craycraft. He's throwing it back up. He throws it up, 50-50
Craycraft
ball.
pass
And
is
that
caught
ball
by
is
number
caught by
2,
Dash
Dash
Tebbs. And they're going to talk about it.
See how they're going to call that on the field. It's going to be close. Was he out of bounds?
They're going to rule that an incomplete pass. No receiver wide. This time they fake it to both, and
Inside
they sure
handoff,
enough,
no
they throw
fake.
it deep, and it's
Craycraft with the pass downfield to number 6, Costa
Alexic down,
Alexic.
and big
Makes
play
the catch.
action play to Costa Alexic, and he's caught it at the 25-yard
So you got
line. A kicker with a strong
Right, here's
leg.
your ball game.
Who's a returning player for you?
Jackson Ramirez back to kick.
Snaps back.
Ramirez's
kick
kick
is down.
is
It
good.
is good.
Giving the Hillman the lead with under 2
And
minutes
the
to play.
Placer Hillman go up
Your score.
37-35 with 1:23 to play.
35.
What a football game. 37-35. Placer leads. 33 seconds to go. Owens goes in motion.
Rams drop back to pass.
They throw it deep, and
Pass
this
is
ball
intercepted
is
by number 5,
picked off.
Isaiah Hanley. That's going to be your ball game.
Unbelievable